Yeah,
All right. Well, let's dive into session number 4 of Trouble in Theondir. In the previous session, our adventurers had finally ridden out of the port city of Haldir, heading north to Theondir. Following a couple of failed attempts to control their poorly trained horses, the adventurers would eventually point their mounts in a properly northern direction towards Mittendorf, the bridge settlement spanning across the raging Dalandar River. Not long into its overland journey, the group was intercepted by a scouting party from the Theondir military that was leading several large units of youthful soldiers south to Haldir. The encounter was kept short, and the group was thereby able to make it to Mittendorf just as the sun was beginning to set. Upon arrival, the group purchased, as well as acquired in unethical ways, a couple of Mittendorf merriment potions from a local seller before deciding to bed down for the night at a decrepit inn called the Gilded Glory. With the warped door to the inn finally forced ajar, 3 of the adventurers moved into their lower, and lowest quality rooms. Bolin, however, would spend his trance hours in the open air outside the walls of the inn. The evening, nevertheless, proved far from restful. Bolin would black out and end up in an unfamiliar environment. Groggle and Niv would be awoken by a strange flashing light, and each of the adventurers would find their sleep disturbed in the early morning by alarms, the running of soldiers, as well as flames engulfing the bridge settlement, flames spreading into the Gilded Glory itself. To escape the fire, Groggle and Niv were forced to leap from their windows, having already tossed out an unconscious Trago onto the cobblestone.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Two stories below. Here, all 3, once Trago woke up, all 3 were suddenly met by a charging raiding party. Bolin quickly made his way back to the bridge and joined the adventurers in their combat. The result, 5 dead raiders, with one of the raiders even being killed twice.
That's right. Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Oh, you guys are so terrible. A percussive explosion filled the air as the remainder of the raiding party, led by a mysterious female rider adorned in brilliant green, made its way south through the southern gate and disappeared into the dark landscape of the early morning. In Mittendorf, however, the flames continue to spread. So, my adventurers, what would you like to do?
Jesus Christ, I feel like I should be paying a subscription for this.
I want to dig through
Go
that
ahead.
guy's pockets.
Yeah, right. It's
We
called
definitely
Night-
need to.
or-
We definitely have to loot the bodies. Let's loot the dead bodies.
Yeah.
What'd you say their
Well,
name?
wait.
first,
That loot. I wanna
how
dig
bad
through that
are
guy's-
how bad are the fires? Are they being taken care of by the townsfolk, or
So you've
is
got,
this place going to look like it's burning to the ground?
you've got like 20 to 30 foot flames coming off of the roofs on all the buildings. And when you look out to the side, you see that there's people running around crazily trying to throw water on things to put out these fires, and it's not going so well. I mean, this is a pretty wild fire here.
Dude, you're gonna worry about taking a gold piece
No.
or a silver piece off of someone?
No, I'm not worried about that. I just want to know the actual situation. So yeah, I think we should all just loot the bodies that we just killed. So how does that work?
I'm leaving town, dude. I'm out. I don't
So
give.
who's sticking around? Trago, you're going to go around to the bodies right now?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
I'll
I
help
want
out.
to also,
Yeah.
I'm
All right.
out of here, man.
So Groggle, you're going to take off?
Yeah.
All right, so you're heading which direction? You're
I'm
heading
just getting
south,
out of
north?
town. I don't. I'm gonna go whatever direction they're gonna go in a few minutes. I'm just heading out of town. I don't like you.
The direction
dumbasses.
from where we came, or the where we were going to.
Going to.
All right, so you'll head up
Is he
north.
smart
here.
enough to do that?
Actually, that's a good question. Give me an
The no
intelligence
direction?
check there, Groggle.
Oh, fuck off. All right. What am I? -2? 9.
All right, so you actually failed that. And on a 1, 2, 3, you head north. 4, 5, 6. Actually, you're going to turn around and head south in the opposite direction you're supposed to go.
God.
So you're grabbing your swords and chasing after the raiders that left through the southern gate. The rest of you are going to stick around now. Go ahead, all of you 3 that are sticking around. Give me a Constitution check, real quick. Constitution save.
Constitution save.
Yeah, give me a Constitution save.
10.
10. Okay.
5.
5.
Pretty bad.
20.
20. Okay. As you look, you see these 20, 30 foot flames dancing in the sky through billows of black smoke. Some of the smoke is wafting upwards, or some of it is coming down, filling your lungs with this sort of sharp sting of smoke and soot. All of you actually are able to manage that, except for Trago. You're gonna go ahead and take an exhaustion point. So we'll follow that now. You have 1 point of exhaustion.
Okay.
So you guys are gonna go and you want to go loot the bodies.
Yeah, let's loot the bodies.
Okay. You've got 5 dead bodies lying close to the cart where you were able to take them out. And we run over there, and you guys get a total. There's a total of let's see here, 37 gold pieces among the 5 people. And among one of them, there's a strange ring of keys. There's a set of different keys on there, different size keys, on a large ring about this size right here, and something like 20, 30 keys. You haven't counted them yet, but a large ring of keys on that body. And they've got some weapons that are pretty beat up after the fight with you, some bows that are pretty beat up, that aren't really salvageable. Horses are completely knocked out or have run away.
Trago,
Is
do you want
there
to take
any-
the keys?
Well, is there anything special about the guy we found the keys on? Is he dressed differently or have like rank insignia or anything on them?
He looks just more or less like the rest of them. You notice that he does have a belt that's slightly different than the rest of them. A little thicker belt. It has some different metal embellishments on it. And it was that which the keys were connected to. But other than that, he looks like the rest of them.
Okay.
Are they humans?
Yeah, they are.
Or are they?
humans.
Okay.
Is there anything in my profession that would like kind of tell me what these kind of keys are for, or is it just a key ring that, as far as I can tell?
Go ahead and give me an investigation check there.
Investigation.
Actually, you know what? No, let's actually go history instead. Give me a history check.
History.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same, so it'd be 14.
14. You're not exactly sure. I mean, it's not really clear. It looks like a lot of keys you've seen before, so nothing too extremely interesting there for you.
Oh,
Should we
so I
split
guess
up?
obviously
Should we
we're gonna
split
take
up the
those.
gold?
Yeah, I'd say split up to 37 gold each take
We'll each
between
take-
the 3 of us.
Can
I'll
I
take
have one?
12.
12. Yeah,
No,
I'll take
you're not
12.
there. You have no idea.
I just want one, Tim. Just one.
You don't even know we have gold.
And do we notice which way
Dipshits took
Eric
damage.
left?
Yeah, you saw
know
him
which
take
way-
off. You saw him take off
Okay.
south, so he's heading
All
south
right.
there.
I'm going to, because I'm not doing so hot. I think from falling and all that shit.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah, does anybody
actually
need-
just hanging out outside of town, Matt.
Yeah.
I just got out of the fire.
Yeah, so you're outside of the smoke now. So you're
I stopped. I'm not riding. Yeah. Okay, just so
Yeah.
we're clear.
Excellent. So
So
you head
we
out.
need
You
to
head
go get
outside the
horses.
gates. So Groggle, you head outside the gates. You're not really breathing in the smoke anymore. And Trago, sorry, what'd you say?
Like I'm going to tell you is we need to go get the horses from the stable before they burn
call.
alive.
That's right.
We need to go get
Wait,
those
I'm
guys.
not on a horse?
No, you're
Oh,
walking,
we were on
man.
foot.
Your horses are in the stable.
But we had 3 horses, right?
Each of you had a horse. You had 4 horses.
Yeah, we each had a
Very
horse.
horse.
Horses. Okay.
So, Chad, why don't you call for me so I know to come back? You have to do it though, you have to actually call.
You got
You have a war
mockingbird
horn?
call or something.
That's
Well,
my mating call. That's my
where-
mating call with a neighbor when it's time for a beer.
Where are
You
the
mate with the neighbor?
It's pretty sexy. Sorry.
on the map? Which building are the horses in? Rough, like where
So the
would be-
horses are in the stable, which is right next to the inn here. And
Okay.
and
That's
you
on
notice that the flames have they've come across the roof of the Gilded Glory, and they have moved over to the stable. The stable
Okay.
is on fire. I mean, these
Okay.
20, 30-foot flames are coming off of the stable as well.
So you guys worried about gold and ransacking
yeah.
these bodies and left the horses to burn alive.
It only took a little bit.
Don't mind that I just ran into the field.
So I'm gonna kind of signal to these guys and make my way over and try to get the door open. I don't know I'm probably too weak to open the damn door, though, being what I am. But
All
I'm
right,
gonna
you
try to go.
you head over to the door, and as you're walking across, you suddenly are interrupted. You feel some vibrations in the cobblestone, and as you turn and you look, you see a group of horsemen from Mittendorf ride past you, and the captain is calling out orders as they charge south out of Mittendorf. And Groggle, you also feel this, and you see them coming flying past you, heading south out of Mittendorf to chase down the raiders. Trago, you're heading over to the stable there.
Yep.
And as you come there, you notice that the fire is in the roof, and it's also starting to slowly kind of crawl its way down the beams on the exterior.
Yep.
There's a large beam across the metal door. You got these large metal pieces, and there's a large beam across. And actually, part of the roof has fallen down, has burned and fallen down, and so there's a pile of rubble in front of the door, which is burning as well, and the door is starting to heat up now.
Oh.
We need Groggle. We need Groggle to come
Yeah.
help clear the debris.
Is it pretty clear that we're not going to be able to do this ourselves?
You can give it a try. I mean, I don't know. It's a heavy door, but it's and there's some rubble there, but you might be able to do it.
I'm not saying nothing. You guys got
I'm
to.
gonna scream. I'm gonna scream out to Gargle. Gargle.
Oh yeah. Oh, come running after that, you ass.
That should be your new name, Gargle.
Gargle.
Gargle the ale, Gargle.
Gargamel.
Gargle, hey, Gargle. So go ahead, Bullen. What were you saying?
I'm gonna scream out to Groggle to get his ass over here and help us save the horses.
So I mean, Gargle, you can hear them. What are you saying? Go ahead, Bullen. Give him a yell.
So my initial reaction
Groggle!
is not anything.
Help!
But-
We need help.
But since you bought me a beer, I will come and help.
Okay. Yeah. So then we indicate, like, open the damn door so we can get the horses out. Being the strong man. To Groggle. Eric?
Yeah, yes, do it.
Yeah. Okay.
You want to do it? Okay.
Yeah.
Groggle, you head up to the stable door.
No. I want to tell Tim I want my gold piece. I'm kidding. Go ahead. I'll try to save the horses.
You're gonna have to kick the rubble out of the way there, and try to open the door. Give me a strength check here, Gargle.
20.
That's gonna stick. 20.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not a
20.
natural.
No. Okay. So as you go on to grab the door, you feel that the handle is quite burning to the touch, and it grabs you. Give me a Constitution check as well, a Constitution save.
Oh, oops. That's not good. 6.
6. Oh, ouch. Okay, so you're going to take actually 3 damage, and your hands now get severely burned because these metal rings are cooking in these flames. And you put your hand around this ring, and you feel this searing pain shoot through your hand, and you're able to grab the ring and yank as hard as you can. You still hold on. Your hands are going to be super sensitive for 2 minutes now, so you're going to have a disadvantage on any rolls and anything you do with your hands. But you're able to pull the heavy doors open. You flip that piece of wood off and push the rubble aside, yank that open, and when you do, a plume of black smoke comes flying out of the stable, and you see how the roof now has begun to burn all the way through, and the thatch now is embers are falling like a glowing waterfall onto the floor below and starting to ignite different piles of hay. And there on the floor, you see a horrible sight.
Oh, no.
Strewn across the floor are your 4 horses, either unconscious or dead, you don't know, but they're lying on the floor, motionless from the heat and the smoke, and their bridles are still tied securely to the iron rings on the far wall.
I immediately turn around and get out. They're dead.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't pick up a fucking horse. Like,
You never know if you try, unless you try.
all right, I'll try to pick up a horse.
What's your strength?
20.
I'm gonna try to pick. You can just drag him. Groggle, just drag the horses out, or at least one.
This
Can
coming
we,
from the guy that didn't want to give me a single gold piece, you know?
I like how all the rest of you are like, "Hey, Groggle, go in that burning building and do all this stuff for us." We're just gonna sit out here.
No. I'm not. That's dumb. I'm like, that's not how I'd play my character. No, I'd leave immediately.
Okay, I'm gonna crawl in, try and go under the smoke, and just check on the horses to see if at least one of them, the closest one, is either dead or just unconscious. Can I check to see if he's breathing?
Go for it. Give me a quick medicine check on there.
Oh, medicine. Yeah. There's a medicine check.
16.
16. Okay. It's hard to tell because of all the smoke, but you get close to these 4 horses and you're able to put your hands on them, and there's a slight raising and lowering. You move to the next horse. Slight raising and lowering of their chest cavity. The next horse.
I'm gonna yell back. They're still alive.
Help me. 4 alive. They're unconscious though. Sorry, go ahead. What were you gonna yell?
I'm gonna yell back to everyone. They're still alive. Help me bring them out.
Okay.
And I'm gonna untie them from the posts if I can.
You're gonna have to walk. You're gonna fall yourself to the wall, and then you're gonna stand up, and your head will come into the heat and smoke there.
I'm
as you stand up, give me a Constitution save there as well.
Shit.
We're gonna fucking die in a barn.
16.
16. Okay, so you're able to stand up, holding your breath. You're able to bear the heat and the smoke, and begin to untie the horses from the ring there on the side. And you do that rather quickly and drop down to the floor again. The horses are untied, but they're still unconscious.
Okay. Can I try? I'm gonna start and drag one back out of the barn.
Okay. What is your strength?
12.
12. Okay. Give me a strength check.
13.
Okay. You're not quite able to pull. I mean, you pull and they move a little bit, but you alone are not going to be strong enough to do this. You can't do it by yourself. You could have your buddies help you, but you alone don't have the strength to do it. The horses don't seem to move at all.
Yeah, I'm making my way over to Tim, and I'm gonna yell at him just to heal him.
Yeah, I was just going to do that. I'm going to touch the horse and cast Cure Wounds.
Okay, Cure Wounds on one of the horses. Okay, go ahead and do that.
Yep. Just a 1d8 plus your spell casting ability modifier, which is +5. No, +3. Oh, that's a d20, not a d8.
That would be an awesome Cure Wounds.
Yeah. 7, so 10.
Okay.
10 points of healing to the horse.
So your hand, as you lay it upon the chest cavity of this horse, there's a glow of energy that comes through your fingers, and suddenly the horse flips its head up, its eyes flaring open. It gives out a sort of confused whinny and sort of stumbles up to its knees, and now it's standing up in the smoke. Let me go ahead and roll that. It's fine. It gets that Constitution save just fine. And now it's standing here in the middle of this burning stable with these embers falling down onto its back. It's getting spooked. What do you want to do?
All right, I'm going to slap him in the ass and tell him to run.
Give me an animal handling check.
Slap him in the ass to get out.
Give me an animal handling check there.
21.
21. Wow. So you smack this horse, and it sort of starts limping out of the stable and takes off and comes out into the middle of the area there.
Yeah, while I'm doing that, I'm going to yell to them outside to the horses coming out. Make sure you grab them.
And Bolin, as the horse leaves, you hear this creaking noise above you, and the roof is starting to lean even more in the middle as the fire is sort of burning through the center beam. Let me roll this out here. And it cracks a little bit, but it doesn't give yet. Okay. It's still holding, but it's burning quite wildly here still at this point.
I'm going to go up to the next closest horse and do the same thing. Cast Cure Wounds again. I got one more spell left that I can use, but the other two I can't do much about the other two. So that is a 9 points of healing.
9 points of healing. Okay, same thing. That horse, you set your hand on the horse, and the energy comes into the horse, and it stands up. And go ahead and give me another animal handling check if you want to get it out.
Yep. 21 again.
21. Okay.
18 plus 3.
So you
Nice.
slap that horse and that horse takes off running out of the stable, out back in the center of the square now. And now you have 2 horses out there, 2 horses left, unconscious on the floor.
Then How far are the other 2 unconscious horses from me?
They're just a few feet away. They were all 4 of them are lying next to each other.
Because I'm kind of by Tim too. Do you think we could drag it to 2 of us? My strength is only 7, so I'm not going to add a whole lot.
You know, hey, you dipshits, don't ask me to help.
We did, and you didn't do shit.
Left.
I came back though.
And then you left again.
Then you left again.
When you burned your hands. Our poor Gargle burned his hands, and he's sad now.
Yo, you call me Gargle again, boy.
What's Danny doing?
Yeah, what are you doing, Niv?
Yeah,
Danny's
standing out
apparently
in the
Danny's
safe
playing World
area.
of Warcraft.
I'm standing out in the safe area because I'm almost dead. I'm at 2 hit points, so I'm not getting any.
Shit. Okay.
Is he able to stop the horses at all that ran out?
Yeah.
Or is he?
Yeah, I can stop the horses out in the center square there where I'm not going to burn to death.
Niv, so these 2 horses come running out. Well, first one comes running out. You see this black smoke in the stable. You can't see what's going on inside there. There's such thick smoke. But first, one horse comes bursting through the black smoke, and then a second horse comes right after it. And you go stand in front of them and wave your arms. Go ahead and give me an animal handling check.
Oh, this should be fun.
Well, my animal handling's not too bad. 11.
11? Okay, yeah. So the horses, I mean, they see you and they sort of come to a slow gallop, and they eventually stop next to you. But you're still in the middle of this area that is quite filled with smoke, and you can tell they're still quite spooked and on edge.
Do I know? I suppose I can't see what those 2 are doing inside.
No, you can't.
Trago, you're in the barn with me, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And Trago crawls in on the floor next to you.
Yeah. Probably
I'm
don't
gonna
even
tell
do a really
Trago,
crawl.
like the beams on this thing are about to come down. We got to either get out or we got to get a horse now. What do you want to do?
Well, to be honest, I'm not about to die for a horse. We got 2 of them out. I think Trago would be the kind of guy that's going to be like, I'm going to like grab you and like, we got to go now.
Matt, are the horses at 0 hit points?
So yeah, the horses are 0. They're
okay,
unconscious.
so
yeah.
If I cast Spare the Dying, it's going to make them stabilize, but it won't put them like at 1 hit point to get back
No, I don't
up
think
or
so. I think
anything,
Spare the Dying will just keep them from taking death
keep
saves.
them from right. Okay,
Right.
so that's pointless. Okay. Yeah.
Niv.
So
Niv, hold on a
sorry.
second. Niv, when you're out there in the middle of the smoke, go ahead and give me a perception check real quick.
Natural 20.
Natural
Nice.
20. Wow. So off to your left, Niv, you see in the midst of the smoke and flames, you catch a glimpse of the old
Which way is
blind
left?
man.
South,
Left
north?
is heading northerly direction. Sorry. Sorry. You are facing them, so it will be to your right. Heading north. To your north, over where that cart was before, you catch a glimpse of the old blind man who had sold you the Mittendorf merriment, and you hear him coughing heartily as he fumbles around with his walking stick. Now, you rolled such a good perception roll, so you see him stopping and crouching every so often, crouching to the ground. And as you move closer, you see that he's coming every once in a while to a downed soldier. He reaches into his pack and pulls out something and brings it to the mouth of the soldiers. And he's over there frantically working. When he finishes with one soldier, he stands up and moves to the next soldier. I'm giving you that information just because you rolled a 20.
what a little shit. Didn't we give the dying guy the Mittendorf merriment? It didn't do anything to him.
Yeah, I'm
It was
gonna
like
yell,
water.
I'm gonna yell to
Oh,
these guys that the old blind man is trying to bring these assholes back to life. We gotta go.
Wait, he's bringing the
Oh, sorry. I gotta be clear.
Raiders?
I gotta be
Something.
clear. No.
He's doing
He's
something.
pouring liquids into the soldiers, the Mittendorf soldiers.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Not the
He's
Raiders.
he's not touching the Raiders. No. Sorry, I should have been clearer there. Because there's soldiers all over the place here who are wounded from this battle. But he's focusing strictly on the Mittendorf soldier. He's not trying to resuscitate the Raiders.
Okay.
Well, at
I'm
this
gonna
point, I'm
yell
still
at
trying
the
to
old
drag
man.
Olin
Can I?
too.
Is the old man close enough to hear me?
Yeah, he's pretty
Like
close to you.
something?
It's still a lot of smoke, but he
Okay.
can't see anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I'm gonna just yell at him to get the hell out of here. Your stupid potions don't do anything anyways. You're gonna get yourself killed.
Do
Steal
we
some.
see?
He
Just kill
ignores
him.
you.
I'm
He
not
ignores you.
here,
He
never
keeps
mind.
on working.
Hey, where am I at Matt?
So you were south. You're heading back northwards towards the middle of this cistern right here in the center of the square.
All right, I want to turn around. I want to kill the guy with the potions, and I want to take all his potions.
Okay, you're gonna run up.
I'm not kidding. I want,
Okay, you're gonna run up to the blind man.
and I'm gonna hit him with a. Take all his potions.
Okay, go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Oh boy.
19 plus like 25. He's dead.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage.
That would be 1d8 plus. Hold on, I gotta find my fucking 8-sider. Oh, 8.
8 damage. Oh wow! So you
He's a cripple.
you come and nail this guy, and he
is
falls
dead.
flat down on the ground. He's not dead though, but he turns up and
pissed.
he sees you, and you see him now. In response to your attack, he reaches into his pouch and pulls out a potion, and throws it back into his mouth.
Oh no.
Oh God.
And suddenly, the black smoke around you now begins to turn this sort of reddish color as lightning begins to flash within the smoke, and you hear this noise, and there's just a massive amount of smoke there. And as the smoke starts to clear, standing before you,
A giant troll.
hold on, I gotta look this up. Hold on, I gotta look this up. I wasn't
Really?
expecting.
You planted that years ago. Just
I
waiting
wasn't
for me to
expecting
kill
you to
him.
try and kill him.
Why is it that the
Matt
entire
has all these
campaign-
scenarios, and that
Yeah.
was not one of the scenarios he planned for.
Yeah, like you have a professional
Off the
grade
rails within
adventure
15
here.
minutes.
Matt, just like think of anything stupid that Eric's character could do, because basically that's the entire campaign is going to be us trying to keep his ass in line.
Yeah.
If you guys want me to tone it down, I will. I mean, like,
No, go.
No,
No,
you-
but
do.
I got
You
a
do
7
gargle.
intelligence.
Gargle does gargle.
All right, here we go. All right, so as
call
the
me
smoke clears after he had just ingested this potion, you see standing before you is a 8-foot tall half ogre who is sweating and dripping and staring right at you with his crazy bloodshot eyes.
I just wanted some fucking potions.
And
Oh,
Groggle,
Jesus.
go ahead and roll for initiative. You're in combat, man.
Don't I have initiative? I mean,
You
I have
got a
like
surprise attack on the guy. Now we roll for initiative. Ooh, that was horrible.
Here we go.
initiative.
next
Yeah,
week,
meanwhile,
Groggle will
Tim
be
and I are
rolling for
dying
a
in
new
a fight.
character.
10.
Yeah.
Then, okay. Go ahead, Groggle. Go ahead and take an attack on this guy.
Oh, 18.
18.
25. 25.
That is a hit.
All
Roll
right.
damage.
Morning Star. 1d800. $12.
12. Okay. Wow. Nice. So you come smashing with your Morning Star, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you smash him across the left leg, and he sort of busts his knee out, and he goes down. That was a pretty solid hit. This guy is seriously hurting from that hit, actually. But he's still not hurt enough to be able not to attack you back. He's going to
I'm
come
kind of a
back
big
to you
deal,
now.
Matt. I'm kind of a big deal.
You are a big deal. He's coming back, and he's gonna bring out his attack here, and he's gonna roll a 13. That's a miss on you, right?
How do I calc?
You
got
what is
a
your
What's your
AC?
AC?
Armor
What's your armor
class.
class?
18.
AC, yeah, okay, so he misses you. He comes back and swings back. He's got this battle axe, this massive battle axe that's sort of formed in his hand after this potion. He comes and slams it down to the ground right past your head and misses you. You're up
All right,
again.
I'm gonna kill him right now. 23.
23. Okay, and that is a hit for sure. Go ahead and roll damage.
Rolling high.
9.
9.
Whoa.
Wow.
Oof.
So another powerful attack to him, to his chest this time, and he sort of falls back. This time he drops down to one knee. You can see the blood is starting to drip down his chest. And as you make that attack and he goes down his knee, he says, wait, don't finish me, wait. Spare me.
No, so what I want to do is I want to say, for you about to die, we salute you, and I slit his throat. I don't... that Groggo won't wait.
All right,
I'm
so he's
kill-
going to
I'm
get
gonna
one
kill.
more. He's going to get one more attack unless you're going to use your action surge. Do you have an action surge?
I'm out on
You
that.
Yeah.
You already used
Yeah,
that one.
I used
Okay.
it.
I used
Well,
that,
he's going to get one more attack back on you then, and he's going to roll a 25. That is going to
no.
hit. Oh, ouch. 25 is going to hit, and he's going to do a total of, holy moly,
75.
8 damage to you. 8 slashing damage to you.
I'm
for
not
that
in real
battle
good
axe.
shape here, guys.
So that axe comes back.
I don't
None
think
of
any
us
of us are.
Slashes you on the left side here, and it cuts open your shoulder. And he once again falls back to his knee. He is still
Okay, it's fair.
hurting.
It's okay. So, it's my turn.
Yeah.
It's very important that I say to him, "For you who are about to die, we salute you." Okay, that's the one thing I want out of this session.
And you see in his bloodshot eyes, fear.
All
Go
right,
ahead and take
here
your
we
attack.
go. Oh, for fuck's sake! It only works if I actually roll decent, like 10 or something, whatever, 12.
That is going to miss him. He's got hide armor, so that misses him completely.
Oh no.
And he's able to come back now with one more attack on you, Groggle. And that is going to be an 18.
I have 18 armor class.
18 armor class. So you're able to avoid it then. You just are able to slide to the side. The weapon goes right past you once again. This time just sort of brushing against your armor. And you can feel the ching as it flies off your armor. Your
All
attack.
right, so now this time I'm going to say, well, you who are about to die, we salute you again. And I'm going to stab him. Fuck. It shouldn't be this tough.
No.
Is he prone?
Miss.
Like he said, he's on one
Miss.
knee. Does that
He's
mean
on
like?
one knee.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
he
the-
gets down to one knee.
Will he get advantage? He would get advantage on that, right?
It doesn't matter.
Technically, he's not prone. He's not lying down. He just went down to one knee. What did you roll?
I
Groggle?
turn to the other guys and I go,
You just Niv. We're in the barn. Niv is the
Yeah.
only guy out there.
9. It's a miss.
We're saving the damn
Oh,
horses. and
that's a
you're-
miss. So he's going to once again get off his knee one more time, and this time he's going to come slashing around on the left side of you,
I'm going to die.
and he misses. He rolls a 10.
Thank you. I
The
want to see this
worst
in the video.
battle.
All right, now I'm done effing around with the comments.
For those of
Brag
you
before
gotta
the
say
fall.
that.
Get
It's
a
a
different
miss
die.
again.
At this point, you should just walk away.
Can I just interject and try and electrocute this guy?
Yeah, right.
Tim, you can join the combat. Go ahead.
Watching him stand there and just swing and not hit anything.
Fuck, I'm the best fighter.
Niv, roll me initiative if you're gonna jump in here. Roll me initiative. Roll me a d20.
The mighty orc can't get the guy on one knee.
17.
17. Okay, yeah,
That
you
orc, sorry, yeah.
come jumping into the mix here, and you can go ahead and jump right in now.
Okay, am I? How close am I?
Let's see. You are. Let's see. You're probably a good 30 feet away.
Okay, that's close enough then. I'm gonna cast Witch Bolt at him.
All right, go for it.
25.
25. That's a definite hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Should be 1d12, I believe.
This is gonna be so much cocky talk from Niv if he kills his ogre and you Groggle and you can't.
Oh, that's bullshit. I'm still gonna be a son of a bitch.
3.
Hey,
Okay.
good job, buddy. Thanks.
So I mean, he sort of is shocked a little bit, but nothing too substantial. He turns over and sees you, and he is actually. I don't have an ogre figurine handy here. I'll tell you what. I'll throw this giant eagle in there. We'll just call that the ogre figurine. Groggle, you're over here with him, and he's actually going to charge you, Niv. He's got enough movement. He can get out of there. Groggle, you get an attack of opportunity as he leaves. Go ahead and roll that d20 for me.
All right, motherfucker. Let's do this. 24.
24 hits. Roll damage.
Kill this fucker.
Like, Matt's like all worried that we're like, oh, it'll be a long time till you get to whatever. Here we are, like, effing around with some horses for a whole session. 10.
10. Okay, so as he turns and begins to charge Groggle with the direction that the lightning bolt came from, it got him infuriated. You're able to catch him across the back of the head, and it just, you see his skull kind of implode in the back. He falls face first into the ground, silent still. And a couple seconds later, you see the mist, same red lightning bolt mist sort of fly off of him. And there is the old blind man bleeding out on the cobblestone. And he's lying on the ground.
He's still alive?
He's dead. He's gone.
Okay. Are the potions there?
He's got two sacks, one on each side.
I am going to grab both.
Okay.
I'm going to go through his clothes. I'm going to lead the horses over there. You said you're grabbing sacks.
I'm taking both sacks.
So, Groggle, you run up.
I don't want the sacks. I want to look through his clothes.
Yeah.
All right, I'm okay with that. Yeah,
you can have the
that's
sacks.
Fine. Yeah, I want the potions.
Okay. Niv, you look through his clothes, and there's another tiny little pouch around his belt with two silver pieces in it.
So how do I write this down? 2 bags of potions?
You've got 2 leather sacks of various potions. Let's call it sack A and sack B, just to keep it clear for now. Or actually, no, call it left and right. There was one on his left side and one on his right side.
Okay.
And it's important to keep those apart.
Oh, okay.
You can go ahead and mix them if you want. Yeah, a little party trick, I guess. But right.
All right.
So
he's dead. At that point, I'm going to continue trying to get north out of town.
Okay, so Niv,
just
you're going to
slowly leading the horses.
All right,
I'm slowly leading the horses.
Heading your way north. Bol and Trago, are you still inside of the building?
Yeah. I'm trying to convince Bolin to get out. Like, we gotta go.
All right,
I think
once
you're
again,
right, Trago. I think we got to get out of here.
Once again, as you guys are talking, you hear this creaking noise, and once again the beams are bending ever so low. They haven't cracked yet, though, but the flames are still working their way through that center beam.
There's nothing I can do to get the horses back. I'm out of spells, so we can either try and pull one or just get the hell out of here.
I'm saying get the hell out.
Okay. All right,
You gotta look out for number 1 sometimes.
Yeah, we're getting out.
Yes, the 2 of you take off out of there and head out of the stable. And let me see, I'm gonna roll this one more time. Holy crap. You guys are so lucky. As soon as you leave, the center beam bursts and the entire roof collapses inward onto the stable, onto the other 2 horses. And now, let's see, those horses are both dead. The impact of the roof falling down and the fire damage and the impact damage, both of those horses are now, they're not unconscious anymore. They are dead.
All right. So when we leave, are we like watching them? Eric and Dan, are they like walking away, or they're done with their combat?
Groggle, what are you doing?
I'm looking at my potions.
Standing there in the fire.
Staring at his potions.
Probably just drinking them all. Probably think they're
right.
Just playing my character, boys.
Think they're beer.
So we see Eric standing over the body of the dead blind man, looking at potions. Is basically what we're looking at.
He's got looking at these two leather pouches. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I
No
guess I'm
one's
gonna walk
asked
up.
me to do anything, guys. I'm a
I'm
fucking idiot.
walking up to
Like,
I'm
you
walking
have
up
to ask
Groggle
me.
and asking what the hell happened. What the hell happened, Groggle?
I explained to him what happened.
Okay, so you literally just attacked a guy to take his potions?
Yes.
I'm going to ask if he searched the rest of them.
So as soon as he says that, I say, "Do you want one?" And I
well
left or right, bitch. Which one?
How many
Potion roulette.
How many soldiers are Mittendorf soldiers are unconscious on? Can we save any of the soldiers?
Give me a
like
perception.
or move them from the burning buildings or anything? Like, can we move them out of harm's way at least?
Give me an investigation check.
Investigation. Aha. Investigation. 12.
Well, you can see in the immediate vicinity, you can see there's 3 soldiers who are wounded, lying down somewhat close to the cart, and they're sort of gasping and holding their sides. They're bleeding quite profusely. That's all you can see, given the smoke. It's still pretty thick smoke.
All right, I'm gonna yell. I'm gonna at least tell these guys. I'm gonna run over and help these soldiers. And does anybody want to help me?
Are they in immediate danger of, like, they're pretty safe though? The soldiers where they're at, they're like, there's no fire going to be coming up on them. They're like relatively safe. Okay. Then,
They're
yes.
in the middle of the cobblestone here.
Yeah.
So they're not in any of the buildings, but I mean, all of you who are still left on the square here are susceptible to the smoke.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to tell Groggle, let's go help these guys, because I think we might have to do some explaining a little bit later, and the more help we provide the soldiers will be better. Like, let's go.
Persuasion check.
Persuasion.
Can I make him have one?
Yeah, go for it. Give a persuasion on Groggle versus let's set it as a DC. Let's put a 15 on there.
Okay, 12 plus 6, so I got it.
So okay. So he's fairly persuasive to you, Groggle. You seem to go along with him there.
Yep, I help.
Okay.
So what are you guys gonna do?
So we'll each take a soldier. If there's 3 of them, we'll each take a soldier.
Okay, and they're light enough that each of you can drag them.
Drag them out of out of harm's way.
Okay, you drag them a little bit further north, over where Niv is, kind of heading more towards the northern gate. There, the smoke is a little bit. It's cleared out a little bit. It's not as intense. There's not many buildings there, and you drag those 3 soldiers over by Niv.
Okay. The horses that Niv has, do they have saddles and stuff yet, or are they?
No, the saddles and all that were still left in the stable.
We didn't get the saddles.
You have your supplies though. Niv was very smart to bring along all of his belongings. So you have the package, you have all of your money, all of your supplies, you have your packs and all your rations. You just don't have the saddles; those are left in the stable.
How big are the bags that Eric has of potions? Like, we can't hide them anywhere.
No, I mean they're pretty good size. I mean they're
good size.
Yeah, I would say each of them's probably about this.
Yeah.
I mean they're pretty full as well.
So I'm gonna approach Niv and ask him what the hell happened with the old man. Try to get an actual explanation from him.
I'm just gonna say he was doing something to the soldiers, and then Groggle smacked him on the back of the head.
You're forgetting the part where he converted into an ogre.
Well, yeah, there is that. Minor details.
A half ogre, to be exact.
Matt, what time of day is it? Is it daytime? Is it nighttime?
So you guys remember you were woken up in the early morning, and it's good you say that, because as you're looking around, Bolin, the first light of the morning is beginning to break. So it's early morning, and you see the rays of the sun are beginning to cast a sort of purple and pink glow around the eastern skies that begin to sort of match the colors of the flames. So it's the early morning.
Can we just sit down for a second?
Well,
and
I
want to ask these guys if they saw that woman that rode away, and that ring I had in my pocket started to burn pretty fucking bad. Does any of you guys recognize who that woman was when she cast some sort of spell and then she rode away. Who was that? Who was that person?
What?
Did any of us see that? I don't think any of us saw it because we were in our rooms.
Yeah. Is that the
trying
weird
to remember
thing
last
that you
session.
did?
Oh yeah, so
No,
this
no,
was
we were outside.
you guys were all out
Oh.
out in the square for this. Yeah, this was the very last thing that happened. You were all out in the square as she rode off with the rest of the crew.
Because they were all on
Yeah.
the way south side of town. Yeah, did we
Yeah.
actually see
So
her
we actually saw her.
specifically?
We got
Yeah,
a good
you
look
all
at
you
her,
all
right?
caught a good glance at her,
Did
especially
I
Bolin.
recognize her? Did I recognize her?
You don't. There was nothing that really was familiar about her.
Okay.
I mean, but it was an odd experience with the ring for sure.
Yeah. She cast
you
some
still
sort of
have the ring?
spell. Yeah, I still have the ring. It's in my pocket, but it started to heat up when she was casting the spell. And I grabbed it and I couldn't, it was too hot. I couldn't grab it. But then she just fucking ran away. It was super
Tim,
weird.
It's not actually in your pocket. You just reach for your pocket. It's not actually there. Okay?
What?
Don't be a dick, Eric.
Sorry.
So can we do like a check to see if any of us, if like I recognize her?
You can go ahead and give me a, let's see. Actually, give me a history check. Why not? Go for it.
It's gonna be a fail. Yeah, that's a fail. 11.
You have no idea who she was.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna shake my head at him, but then I'm
I mean,
also gonna say
even the symbolism in the like her clothing, you don't recognize
Right.
any of that.
Okay. I'm gonna suggest to Bolin that maybe we should get out of here because apparently somebody killed the old man, and there might be questions being asked once this is all over.
You guys,
I'm gonna
you're
say
right
that very
because
quietly. I'm gonna say that quietly. I'm gonna kind of go over there and like maybe we should get out of here, under my breath, because our friend over there maybe murdered somebody, and we should probably not be around for the guards to find out.
What are you drinking?
Wine. I had it left over from last night. I gotta finish it. So I'm only telling
Gotta
Bolin
change
this.
it up,
Yeah, I'm only telling Bolin this.
Okay.
And I'm gonna whisper or kind of talk to Trago quietly and say, I thought I was dreaming, but there's a trail of blood down underneath this bridge. I thought I was dreaming, but it's real, and I need to go check it out. So maybe you can distract Groggle for me while I go check it out.
Okay. Fuck, how do I distract Grog? God damn.
What?
Do I have
What?
any ale?
Like, you
know
don't
here-
even need to distract me. I'm fine. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, okay, I'll kind of nod at him, and we're gonna slowly I'm gonna suggest to Groggle and Niv that we start slowly making our way a little north, out of town a little bit.
Okay.
Just the three of us. Niv, Groggle.
I'm
You
going to
guys wanna
ask
start?
why just the three
I'm
of
okay
us?
with that, actually. Like, I want to get
Well,
out of there.
Yeah. It's like I wanna go check out these potions that Groggle has. And,
Also,
be a little-
I was just gonna say, I want to
Yeah.
immediately, as we're walking out of town, I want to grab a random potion and drink it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. From the left
boy.
or the right. The
Right.
left-
Did I see the old man drink the potion before he turned
Yeah.
into the ogre? Did I notice that?
Oh, roll me a perception. Let's do that.
Good question.
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, Niv. Roll a perception or perception check. We'll do that retrospectively. 6. So no, you didn't see him.
Okay.
You have no idea what was going on there.
No, I slug one down.
So Groggle, you reach into the potion that was on his right hip, and you pull it out, and it's potions that look similar to the ones that were on his cart. And you swirl it around a little bit, and you see there's a little bit of a glow in there. You pop open the top and slam it down. Let me go ahead and roll this out. And immediately you feel this warm sensation coming through your body, and you immediately recover a total
Nice.
of, let's see, wow, 11 hit points.
Nice.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So look
So
down
while
in
they're-
that. Look down in that pocket there, Groggle, and there were 7 potions in that right one. Now you only have 6 left. So make sure you mark in your inventory 6 potions in the right.
How many are in
pouch.
the left?
In the left pouch, we have a total of 13.
Holy crap!
Jesus.
It's full. It's full of pouches.
All right.
And so do we?
While he's doing that, he's doing the, I'm gonna slowly back away and sneak away so I can go check out
Give me
what was going
also-
underneath the.
Give me a stealth check, Bolin.
Guys, my kids are doing something upstairs that's not normal. So can we take like a 2-minute break?
Yeah, go
Are
ahead.
they being quiet?
We'll run with Bolin here.
Yeah.
We'll run with Bolin for a second here.
I'm gonna go grab some more coffee. I'll be right back.
Stealth.
Do you want us to go off mic so we can't hear what's going on?
Sure, go ahead. We'll see.
Yeah.
What did you get on your
I'd be-
stealth check there, Bolin?
15.
15. Okay, yeah, you're able to sort of slide away the steps, and you move off by yourself. What do you want to do?
I want to go back to where I saw that trail of blood.
Okay, so you remember you came up through the northern gate, and there was an entryway that brought you right into the northern gate. So as you go back, you head down in that same path that you took through this sort of brick structure, and you begin to wind your way back and forth. Excuse me. As the stairway leads down, hewn out of the stone, and you come back to this platform, and there on the platform where you woke up, there's that trail of blood that you see something was dragged and dropped into the water.
Is there anything else around, like preceding the trail of blood? Like, is there a wall of like mountain behind it? Can I search like the opposite direction to see if there's any underlying evidence of what might have happened?
Give me an investigation check.
+3, 17.
17. You can see that there's strangely in the center of the platform. So let me explain this a little bit more. It's a long stone platform that butts up against the cliff wall. And you know this from last time you noticed it. There's some barracks, soldier barracks there as well. That's what you climbed up on. You went on this platform next to the soldier barracks and climbed up. That's what you came down on. Next to the pile of blood in the center of the stone platform, there's a slight amount of dust there, as if something had been, some sort of flame or something had burned. But that's all you can really pick up. There's a slight trace of something like dust from something that had burned. But other than that, you see the pool of blood. You see something had been dragged. It was something fairly large from that investigation roll that falls into the water.
Can I tell how long ago it was done? Was this is the blood dried? Is it like pooled?
Yeah, so the blood is actually it's not dried. So the blood is actually there's still a pool of blood. I mean, right on the edges, it's beginning to sort of coagulate and dry, but there's still a pool of blood there. And you can see it's still even dripping off of the edge into the water. You can see small drops land in the water and float away. So you know that was pretty fresh when you woke up.
Okay. So can I look into the water? Is the water clear? Can I see any into the water? What might have? Is there anything underneath it, or?
The water is rushing pretty fast, so it's hard to see into it. But go ahead and give me another investigation check.
8.
8. Yeah, it's flowing too fast. It's too many bubbles. It's too churned up. You can't really make out anything there. But it's a fast flowing river. You remember from this last time you jumped in. As soon as you jumped in, you had to take a strength test, and you failed it, and you got swept away down.
Okay.
Down the
Can I
river.
stick I want to stick my arm into the water and like just search around.
Hello.
Oh, we got some guests here. Hello.
Oh, hello.
My dad's not letting me play Roblox.
Oh,
Okay.
Sure.
Elena, we're kind of in the middle of something. Okay.
What?
We're kind of in the middle of something. Okay.
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 Yeah.
But we
All
do
right.
need more female D&D
Yes.
players.
Yes, we do.
So start playing D&D.
Yeah.
All right, Bolin. I'm sorry.
So
What was your question again?
I wanna just stick my arm in and
He's
just
mad at
ruffle
me now.
around. I'm just rifle around the under the water and see if I can feel anything. Is there anything underneath the water that I can feel that feels weird?
The water's too deep. Yeah, you stretch your arm down and you can't feel anything. It's just raging water, and it's pretty deep there. Yeah.
And you said that the platform was on top of the barracks, right?
The platform is right next to the barracks. So the platform goes up to the edge of the cliff wall, and a little bit further down the platform, you see some barracks there, soldier barracks.
Okay, can I look in? Would it be reasonable to assume that something could be dragged from the barracks into the water?
Yeah.
So I were to search, let me search in the barracks.
Okay,
just peek in. Is anybody in there?
Give me one more investigation check there.
Hold on.
Are we good to be back?
Yeah, you guys can listen to this.
Yeah, you guys can hear this. I'll probably tell at least you, Trago. 21.
Okay. You don't notice anything around the barracks. So the dragging didn't originate from the barracks. It originated from some place entirely different. So you have no idea.
Okay. I guess, I mean...
But you do notice one thing is your cloak is still quite bloodied on your right side, on your right leg and your right foot. You noticed that when you woke up, and your cloak is now, it's beginning, the blood on your cloak is now dry and coagulated. So you've got crusted, hard blood soaked into your cloak on the right side of you.
What the hell? Is it my blood? Is there scars anywhere, scrapes or cuts?
No.
Anywhere on my body?
No, you pull up your cloak and your legs are fine. You've got no cuts or anything there.
Okay. Well, I'm super confused, so I'm just gonna walk back up and make my way back up to the group.
Okay, so you guys are still up there, and you didn't notice, but Bolin actually snuck away. You didn't notice that at all. You were too busy with your potions, Groggle, watching around, looking at all the excitement. And Bolin eventually comes and slides up into you. Do you want to stealth back to them, Bolin, or you just want to walk up?
No, I'll just walk back up.
Okay, so Bolin walks back up, and you guys notice him rejoining you in the group there.
Guys, okay. I saw. I'm going to tell the whole group this, but there's a trail of blood down by the river, and I thought I was sleeping, but I woke back up and found all this blood on the ground, and I just ran back down to investigate it, and I couldn't find anything. So I don't know
I grab him by the neck immediately and say, "Start talking. You're lying. Start talking."
So
I'm not. Well, I grab him by the neck and I do that. I grab him and I go, "Start talking."
I'm gonna knee him in the balls.
How do you know that? Or how do you know that half orcs have balls?
There's one way to find out, I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
Is this how it ends?
All right, if you want to, go ahead and
I'm totally gonna do that. Like, think about if you were there right now. I want to know what he fucking knows, because he's not telling us everything. So I'm going to roll an attack roll. Right?
Bolin, well, you grab him by the neck. You're holding him up. And as you pick him up, Bolin, you're going to try and knee him in his reproductive organs, whatever those may be, for half-orcs.
Probably you know what? No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that.
Okay, so he lifts you up.
He's going to lift. He's lifting me up by my neck. Yeah.
Yeah. This will end badly for you. He can't talk and cast one of those stupid spells.
Nope. But oh yeah, you're right. I was gonna cast guidance, but it's a verbal spell. Can I talk?
Not if he's grabbing.
Could I mutter words out of my? Could I mutter an incantation?
That's a really good question. If you're gagged, you can't. Right. If he's grabbing your throat, the question is, can you get enough air out? Actually, give me a dexterity.
Dexterity? Okay, he's got to have a way big disadvantage on this.
To get some air out.
Dexterity saving throw or just check?
Give me a dexterity check.
Okay. 7.
7. So we'll say Groggle's holding you too much. You can't get enough air out to actually be able to.
I'm just gonna let him choke me.
Okay. So, no, I just say start talking. That's all I say.
Yeah, and I'm gonna jump in.
And you do realize to keep things consistent here with the physics of this universe, if you squeeze him too long, he will stop breathing.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm gonna run up and I'm gonna tell him to drop him to let him actually explain himself because he can't talk in the state.
Persuasion.
Oh, is Eric's making the call now for persuasion?
No, I'm trying to play the character, guys.
Go for it.
No, that's fine.
If I'm out of line, you gotta let
19.
me know.
All right, yeah, that's you're charming. Go ahead. Yeah.
I throw him down.
You throw him down on the ground.
So I'm gonna give Bolin a couple seconds here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna explain to everybody that there is a dead man that did not deserve to die back there, and we may. And oh wait, are we still by the? We're still by the guys, the guards, or did we? Are we
made
like
30 yards in 2 hours?
Yeah, you guys are heading towards the northern gate. You're close to the northern gate. You've got 3 guards lying there next to you that you dragged out of the smoke area. You've got a dead blind man face down about 30 feet behind you. Yeah, and you've got Groggle lying on the ground.
Yeah.
Listen, Groggle. We came out here. We see this dead man. We see your axe in the back of his head.
Yeah.
You can either choose to believe me or you can leave. But it seems to me that the one who should be telling the truth here and telling us about their actions is you.
Boy, I gotta comment back on that, but do you want me to take a check, Matt?
No, just go ahead and say what you want to say to him.
It seems to me that you need to start talking about this fucking dream you had.
It wasn't a dream. Go down there and check for yourself. There's a big pool of blood by the river.
Start explaining. Start talking.
I just did.
I pull out my mace or my morning star.
I just walked up there and told the whole group what happened.
And I'm gonna walk up to the group and be like, it seems to me that maybe we should not be here right now, and we should be making our way to our stated fucking destination. Let's get the hell out of here before questions are being asked.
Persuasion. Take a check.
That's gonna be a 15.
I mean, you're still pretty persuasive.
Yeah.
But
all right. I'm done with that. Let's go. Because he's right. We should go.
As you guys are talking, you've been talking for a long time. You've got, by the way, you've got 3 soldiers who are severely wounded lying at your feet. Yeah. As you guys are talking and arguing, and you're throwing Bolin on the ground and picking him up and whatever you're doing, you suddenly hear the sound of hooves behind you.
Oh, no.
And riding up to you now is another group of 4 soldiers on horseback, similar to the one that went south through the gate in pursuit of the party. You can tell right away you have a sergeant and 3 others. And leading this group is a stout and a rough-looking man with a shaven head, dark black-rimmed eyes. He's adorned in worn but nevertheless shining armor. And his sword is drawn as he rides up to you guys. He sees the 3 soldiers at your feet. The 3 wounded soldiers at your feet. He rides directly up to you guys with the other 2. They begin to sort of circle around you, raising his sword, and he says, "You there, foreigners, state your purpose in Mittendorf and do so quickly."
Does Eric still have his mace out?
He's still holding his mace, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna look at Eric and be like, "Put your weapon away. Don't do anything unless I do it."
Yeah, this doesn't look so good. The optics
was I supposed to have my headphones on
this whole time? Like I'm trying to play the character, guys.
Okay, so I'm at 20. That was a 17 plus 6, so I'm at 22 or whatever.
I didn't have my headphones on for any of that stuff.
Oh.
I thought you were still doing Tim's thing.
No.
Oh damn, dude.
We've been back for like 20 minutes.
I've been sitting here. No one said anything.
All right, Danny.
I can't see your head. I can only see like the top of your head.
Danny.
So I don't know.
So Niv, there was Groglin was trying to get some info out of Bolin. Bolin was trying to tell him about this pool of blood that he was investigating that was connected to this dream that was actually reality. And Groggle doesn't trust him. He pulls out his mace. You still got 3 guys lying on the stone in front of you, and you are just had 4 soldiers ride up on horseback. One of them, the sergeant, pulls out his sword, puts it right at you guys, and demands you to state your purposes in Mittendorf and do it quickly.
And Chad convinced me to put my my morning star away.
Explain yourselves, he says. And he says, well, what is the meaning of this? You have 3 wounded soldiers. Explain yourselves. All 4 of these soldiers have their swords up.
Yep. And I'm gonna turn to the you said he was a sergeant. It looks like he's a sergeant.
Looks like a sergeant. Yeah, you can tell from his clothing.
I'm gonna say sergeant. We actually dispatched several of the raiders this evening, and we pulled these soldiers out of harm's way, and now we're just kind of regaining our strength here and wondering what we need to do.
And what of these soldiers lying before you? He says.
And I immediately say it. They're dead.
With the soldiers,
okay.
They're not dead though.
I assure you that they are not dead. We dragged them out of
perception.
Sergeant, don't pay no mind to our dumb friend over here. He means no disrespect. The soldiers are obviously alive. You can see with your own eyes that they're perfectly alive. We mean you no harm. We mean you no ill will. We simply were trying to rectify any the attack that happened from these raiders. We dispatched them. We destroyed them. Now we're just trying to get all of everybody out of harm's way, and that's where we are.
And Tim's internet's about to die.
Yeah,
can you guys hear me?
We can hear you, but we can't see.
Okay, well,
you're frozen.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what
to do. I love that Xbox, baby. Love that Xbox.
But,
and it look like you're frozen in like you're a priest trying to heal someone.
Oh yeah, I can see it. Yeah, my picture is frozen on my screen
totally
too.
like doing this cleric, like closing your eyes and like saying this cleric blessing.
I can just see Jesus.
All right, I'm gonna try something and then I'm probably gonna crash.
All right. If you crash, just sign in
works
again.
In mysterious ways. Oh, hallelujah.
That was pretty good, actually.
Oh no, I'd make a great fake preacher.
Still with us, Bolin?
Yeah. No, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're just still stuck.
Okay. Yeah, we can keep going and then.
All right, go ahead. Give a persuasion check with disadvantage because you've got 3 wounded soldiers at your feet, and Grog will just put his mace away. There's Morningstar. Yeah, go ahead, Bolin.
Get your shit together, Noah. Check
persuasion. I am not good persuader. 11.
Okay. He looks at you rather skeptically and says, once again, he repeats. He looks down at the soldiers and says, explain yourselves also. He's back. Soldiers are pretty hurt at this point, but they're able to look up and they see the sergeant and they one of them says, yes, Sergeant, it's true what he says. They dragged us here, pulled us out of the smoke. What they say is correct. Their intentions are true. So the sergeant sort of lets up a little bit, sheathes his sword again. Well, it's of grave importance that we immediately send a dispatch of soldiers to Theondir. We need to get there immediately and request immediate assistance after this attack by the raid. As such, by order of the Theondir military, I will hereby need to confiscate your mounts. He gestures to 2 of the other soldiers with him to go over.
How many are there,
man?
Move
over to you. There's 3 soldiers and a sergeant.
I
pull
out my morning star.
God damn. And immediately,
I'm not kidding. I pull it out.
Immediately,
they're not taking my horse.
Yeah. I go up to the sergeant.
2 of our horses are already dead.
Yeah. Sergeant, we are actually, in fact, heading to Theondir by summons, and we would request to accompany your soldiers on the way there.
I would be agreeable to that.
The sergeant is utterly confused. Now, when you pull out your morning star, he once again raises his hand and yells an order out at his men to stop. He pulls his sword out again. Niv, give me a perception check.
You guys, you better fucking do something, Chad. Like
10.
Yeah, I'm trying to do something. Keep you out of trouble.
That's actually just enough, Niv. You notice, Niv, that the one soldier sitting behind that didn't come up. You recognize him, actually. You've seen this soldier before. And it takes you a couple seconds, but it snaps into your mind. It was the man that you met in the Gilded Glory, sitting by the table when you and Trago were out in the evening. You remember the man. You see him. You immediately are taken back to that place where he was sitting at his table with his armor on the floor. He had his book open, doing some sort of cantrip. You remember that? He had a dancing flame on the palm of his hand.
Oh, that shit, man.
That now.
You see his face and you remember him.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of the other. So it's the sergeant, that guy, and two other.
Yeah, the two other guys we're starting to ride up to you to confiscate your horses, and they've stopped now after the sergeant called out in order for them to stop. As Groggle sort of steps forward with his morning star.
Okay. And
act fast, or I'm gonna kill him.
I'm gonna tell the sergeant, that the guy behind him, we talked. He knows that we're not up to any good. He knows we're here on legitimate business.
He knows we're not up to any good.
Or up to bad. Sorry.
Yeah. Shit, run!
You said that wrong.
Crap!
We're made.
There's 3 of them, Matt. 3 of them.
There's sergeant and 3 soldiers.
Motherfucker can't even count.
So
right.
you better hope that you succeed here, because.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk up to Groggle and just touch him on the shoulder and cast guidance.
Okay. Yes.
Good call.
What do you want to say to him?
Wait, yeah, command. Sorry, command, not guidance. Command. Chill.
Chill.
Yeah, chill is a word that they
Chill,
use.
Bro.
He needs to take is it a wisdom save?
Yeah, wisdom saving throw.
All right, so what
is your DC there? You have a 13 or is that
you got to beat a 13 under wisdom save.
Wisdom save.
11 plus.
Wisdom, you're going to be negative.
Yeah, wisdom's got to be low for you.
Yeah, I got a 10.
10. So Groggle, immediately you feel this hand on your back, and you hear Bolin say, "Chill," and immediately your muscles just relax, and your morning star sort of just slowly drops down to the ground. Your eyes kind of pull back. A half smile comes across your face.
Yeah, you had to beat a 13.
Niv, give me a persuasion check with advantage. So roll 2 d20s, take the highest. Persuasion, add your persuasion bonus.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Damn, son.
So the man,
other one was a 3. So
the man on the horse that you pointed to, he begins to ride a little bit closer, and he turns to his sergeant and he says, "It's indeed true what he said. I did meet this man, and I believe we can trust them. The human one here, the one who was speaking, is the leader of the group, and he is a man we can trust." Hold on, I got to roll for him. Oh, nice.
Is he indicating Niv is the leader?
Yeah, Niv is the leader of the group.
Motherfucker.
He rolled a natural 20 persuasion on his sergeant. So the sergeant looks over at him and he says, "Ered, are you sure we can trust these men?" And the other man says, "Well, I know this one. The leader is a trustworthy man. The others, I don't know about them, but I know at least that this one, we can trust him."
And I'm gonna vouch for everyone else, saying, "You can trust me. You can trust all of us."
Ered sort of looks at you and he sort of bows his head. Strangely enough, though, as he's bowing his head, he catches your eyes, Groggle, and your eyes sort of lock, and there's a sort of strange sense of recognition there. And he looks to you and also bows his head as a sign of respect to you as well.
Groggle's just got a shit grin on his face.
Four of them?
Catatonic.
Are there 4 of them?
4 of them, yeah.
I pull my morning star out and I swipe it across.
That's not chill.
You're still chilling, man.
You're chill, dude.
Okay, I can't do that.
The
All right,
directions
You're
still
relaxed, bro.
You're still chilling, man.
You got snot bubbles coming out, man.
I don't want anybody to know.
So Niv, Erod then turns back to you, and he says, "My friend, what can we do for you?"
I'm going to say, these were our horses, but they were had a bunch of smoke inhalation, and they're not going to help on our journey. These 3 gentlemen need to get to Theondir, like Chad's character. I can't remember your name.
Trago.
Like Trago said, but our horses, we need fresh horses to complete this important journey. We'll give you these 2 to keep if you loan us 4 new ones.
You see the sergeant. You see at the suggestion of this is a bit skeptical, and he says, "Corporal, come with me for a second." And the 2 of them turn their horses around, and you see the corporal, Erod, and you see the sergeant discussing for a second. And then after a couple minutes, they turn themselves back to you and come back to you. And the sergeant says, "Very well. I do trust in my corporal. I trust in his judgment. We need to get a party to Theondir immediately to report what has happened here. I will send my men along with you, but you need to take your own horses. We can provide you 2 additional, but you need to take your own horses. We are very low on horses. We can send you along with Corporal Erod, along with Private Wallard and Private Fenneth, and you need to leave immediately."
Sergeant, that is a most generous offer, and I think I can speak on behalf of the group when we humbly accept. I would ask one small addition, if possible. Our horses, while they might be weak, they'll still be serviceable. Would you be able to loan us 2 saddles that we could put on the horses for immediate return as we arrive in Theondir?
He turns around. He looks back at the buildings south of where you are now, the storehouses and the supply house, which is still burning. It's beginning to smolder a little bit less. And he says to you, "Well, my friend, if you can find anything that's not burnt up, you can take whatever you want from the supply house."
Shit.
I think that's a fair offer. I'll make my way over there.
Okay, so he gets off of his horse and he begins to tend to the 3 fallen soldiers there. Erod, the corporal, turns to you as well, Niv. Begins to talk to you while you, Bull, and you head over to the supply house. At this point, you've got a couple of different army carts with horses on them. They've got some pumping mechanisms, and they've been pumping out of these large barrel units in the back of the carts. They've been pumping through these sort of leather hose contraptions, water. They've been spraying up onto the roof. They've been going with this for the better part of an hour or 2. And the flames have sort of come under control, and so it's just embers now. There's the sound of sort of the deafening sound of flames has been traded by the sort of hiss of hot stones as they have water on them evaporating, and the storehouses is there. There's not much left of the roof. But they were able to salvage a bit of the storehouse. You walk over into the storehouse and you look into the stores, and indeed there are a couple saddles left. They are partially damaged, but you'll be able to find the supplies you need. Yeah, they'll get you at least a couple more days riding.
Okay. I'll take them and I'll fix them to the horses.
Yeah. Okay, you head back, fix up the horses.
While he's doing this, I want to go by myself. I'm gonna go tell Niv, try to keep Groggle in line. I'm gonna go check out this blood trail, see if I can figure out anything, and I'm gonna go try to find the blood trail from what Tim has told me.
Okay.
under the bridge.
So Niv explained to you that there's under the north gate. There's a sort of there's a walkway that comes underneath the gate, and it takes you down through this stone stairway into the side of the cliff. You come down to this platform, and just as he described it, there on the edge of the platform is this large pool of blood, still wet, slightly coagulating around the edges, and a dragging mark heading to the end of the platform that goes into the river.
Into the river. Okay.
Yeah. So he was telling you the truth.
Yeah. So like there's nothing that I would be able to notice. How deep is the river? Obviously, probably too fast moving for anything to be still remaining there.
It's moving super fast. Yeah.
Okay.
It's moving super fast. Give me an investigation check while you're down there, though.
Wait, I got lucky. That was a natural 1. I can reuse that.
There you go. Yeah.
9 investigation. 12.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really notice much. I mean, that's what you see is what you notice.
All right. Yep.
But you at least confirm the story that Bolin gave you.
Right. All right. I'm gonna make my way up back to the group then.
Okay. So you come back to the group, and at this point, the other soldiers have come over with 2 additional horses. The question is now, who is going to get the fresh horses?
Well,
I'm taking one, and Trago's taking the other.
Well, I'm the
Groggle
lightest
is
of the
walking.
group. I'm the lightest of the group. I want us to get to Theondir.
If I get thrown off a horse again, I'm probably gonna die.
Yeah.
Could Trago and I ride on the same horse, and Niv get the other one?
You could, yeah. Trago doesn't weigh much of anything. Trago, you weigh what, 27 pounds or something like that?
Yeah. Where does it say that? I know it says somewhere here.
On your third page.
Yeah, 37 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys spread out the pack, your supplies and everything, then you can easily
put more on the
Trago
extra.
on.
Yeah.
So me and Trago will definitely take one. I would suggest that Niv take the other, and Groggle can fend for himself, since he almost killed us multiple times, including myself.
Like I'm the anti I'm trying
There's
to
consequences to your actions.
Yeah.
I know, Batman, but so you know what's really cool? When you text your boss just 5 seconds ago and say I'm not coming in tomorrow because I got a project I'm working on, and he says, "Okay, see you Tuesday." That's really cool.
Wait, what do you got to go work on tomorrow?
Nothing.
You got Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
24-hour session. Let's get it going.
Make sure he doesn't
boys.
see this on YouTube.
Yeah. I'm gonna send him the link.
Yeah.
This Sunday afternoon, Eric was here.
Yeah.
So you guys climb up on the horse. Trago and Bolin, you climb up on the same horse. You spread it on the packing. Niv, you get a fresh horse as well. Unfortunately, Groggle, you have a bit of a horse that's not doing so well. But it should be okay. It's still got some hit points recovered, so it's
Can we
not.
take a short rest? We should probably rest for a little bit.
We should camp. We should
actually.
No,
they want us to leave right away.
And Arid, the corporal Arid comes up to you. Arid Stildrad, and he looks at you and says, "All right, folks, we need to get moving right away." And he's got his other 2 privates with him.
Arid, how far of a ride is it to Theondir?
Well, Arid says he looks at you and says, "Well, we're gonna need to head slightly north. I want to head off to the east through the forest a bit. I want to try to keep us stealthy because I don't want to mess with any potential raiders. So we're gonna have to ride stealthy. We're not gonna get too far today. We're definitely not gonna get to Theondir one day if we ride stealthy."
Is there more raiders around?
I don't know. It's hard to say. But what I can say is this. We do know that the raider territory, they often hang out in the western part, off in the western forest, in the western mountains. So if we can hold ourselves to the east and we can ride through the forest at a stealthy pace, we may be able to avoid any future raiders.
Okay.
I will say if we do get into trouble again before we rest, I'm not going to be able to help much. Niv is looking pretty bad. I'm exhausted. I don't have any spells left. So we can either take our chances at riding stealthily and camp at night, or we can rest now and be a little more confident if we run into any trouble.
Arid looks at you and he says, "What's your name there?"
Random call. To fix the whatever.
God damn it.
Mute.
Mute.
Oh, sorry guys. Sorry.
My name, sir. You can call me Bolin. Bolin Thazegroth.
You don't even know your own name.
Yeah.
Bolin. This sounds to me to be a good idea. We ourselves are a bit tired, a bit hurt. I say we ride out a few miles, we make camp, we take a short rest for a while, recover a bit of our stamina, and we continue on.
It's actually literally coming up.
Wholeheartedly agree, sir. Thank you for your cooperation. I appreciate you taking the time to really make us feel welcome in your kingdom.
So you guys turn your horses. You follow Arad and the other two privates, Private Wallard and Private Feneth, and you begin to head northwards, and you ride out of Mittendorf. As you move further and further away from the city, the glow of the remaining embers of the ruined city slowly fade into the soft pink and orange glow off to the east of the rising sun. And Arad, he takes the lead. He seems to know where he's going. He's traveled this road before. And he's keeping a determined but still a stealthy pace. He's scanning the distance for raiders, any sign of trouble in the distance. And eventually he directs you off the main trail and rides you eastward, where you eventually come to the edge of a forest there. And the riding in the forest is slower. He wants to try and keep your stealthy riding to keep you from being noticed. So you're moving even slower. And Arad says to you, we're going to follow this line until we come to the Baratu bottleneck. That's where the plains are cut off by the forest in the east and the west before opening up into the hilly plains country heading into the Theondir Valley. And I think here in the cover of the woods is a place for us to take a short rest.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm down.
All right.
I could recover some hit points.
So we all take a short rest.
Yeah.
Do you guys need a pee break?
I'm good. For short rest, I have one hit die left.
Okay, so if you have a hit die, you roll the hit die and add the result plus your Constitution modifier.
Yep.
And that's
okay.
That's the hit points you recover then on a short rest.
And then what is it? Like the hit die replenishes after a long rest. Like if we were to stay a couple days at an inn or something. That's what happens.
So a long rest, you'll get half of your hit dice back.
Okay.
So I can do a hit die, and then I got one left. And then when we have a long rest, then I get
Yep. So you can
do I get any spells back for a short rest?
Short rest? No, you don't get any spell slots back. No.
Let's
1d10.
Damn it.
Oh, this is gonna go well, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm only back at 10 hit points right now.
That's all right.
It was a bad roll.
Yeah, I'm only at 12.
Pussies.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Also, like, I kind of forgot. Where does Eric have his?
We can do more than one hit dice, right?
Dude, I'm selling potions for 2 gold apiece.
So Niv, you can do as many hit dice as you want. So as many as you have, you can roll all of them if you want. For each hit die, you roll one, and then you add your Constitution modifier.
And then on the long rest, you get half of your total hit die back.
You get half of your hit dice back. Yep. So it essentially takes you two long rests to get all your hit dice back.
Does that round up or down? Probably down.
Everything rounds down. Yeah.
Okay.
Boss just approved my unofficial vacation day tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
All right, so I'm gonna spend.
Okay, I used 2 hit die.
Okay.
And you recovered 4
I'm gonna use 2 of them.
Yeah, I did.
Do any of you want to
-1?
Do any of you want to have any discussions or talk to anybody while you're resting? You're gonna rest about an hour here.
What I want to do, I want to go to Groggle and tell him to basically keep the potions on the down low. Like, don't let the soldiers know you have them right now.
I'm too stupid to know better.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm like. Just don't let them know you have.
So then,
have it
persuasion.
right now.
persuasion.
No, but like you understand basic logic, right? You're not like an idiot. Like you're not like
I swagged one.
You're not stupid.
I swagged one.
Well, yeah,
you did drink Matt,
one, yeah. You're impulsive.
Matt,
you're impulsive and dumb. You're not like you understand basic logic.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, you understand what Trego's saying. I mean, the question to you is if you think it's it's up to you to think if you think it's persuasive or not.
Yeah, I suppose it's up to you.
I know what I want to do actually.
And what time of day is it?
So you guys rode out of Mittendorf right when the sun was rising. So it is early morning, or we're talking like 6, 7 a.m.
When we're resting at 6, 7 a.m. Okay.
Yep. So it's still early in the morning.
So we're only a couple miles out of Mittendorf then.
Yeah, you just took off out of Mittendorf. You headed directly east to try and to join up with the forest and to ride stealthily through the edge of the forest to give you a little more cover.
So we just stopped for breakfast.
Basically, yeah.
And then second breakfast.
Yeah.
11s. Because they're pissing me off. I take the 2 bags of potions.
Yep.
I put them on the ground and I stomp them and crush them.
Motherfucker.
All right. You crush both bags, and as you do that, you can.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I'm gonna take damage.
You can hear You can hear the glass vials. Your feet are protected because it's in leather pouches, but you hear the glass vials cracking, and immediately the leather begins to seep this liquid, this gooey liquid, coming out of both of the packs. So you have no longer any vials left, but you do have. Just erased them. You do have packs. If you want to keep the leather packs.
No.
Something tells me that those are going to be very beneficial later on in this campaign.
Oh yeah, maybe.
But... Not anymore.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get on my horse. I'm gonna get on my horse, and I'm gonna start slowly walking. Yeah,
After our
Are you done with me, Tim?
I'm gonna tell Groggle at some point when we get a long rest, we need to have a serious discussion about
anger issues,
about playing on a team.
So after you guys have your hour-long rest and you sort of recover some of your hit points back, you begin to saddle up your horses again and to take off. Trego.
One question. You gave me 1 exhaustion point.
Mm-hmm.
What is I remember kind of reading it. I don't remember what it actually said about exhaustion points. Is that a long rest thing that?
So actually, you need to have a long rest with food and drink to be able to get rid of that exhaustion point.
Okay.
So right now you have disadvantage on ability checks until you get
ability. Oh, okay.
All
right. So I should have been doing disadvantage this whole time.
Right. Sorry, I should have kept.
Okay. Yep. All right.
Yep. So you've got disadvantage on ability checks.
Okay.
Yep.
Good call.
So you guys begin to head north through the woods, and everyone go ahead and give me a perception check really quick. Roll a d20.
Perception.
7. Terrible.
8.
19.
Yeah.
19.
Wait, so
14.
19 for Niv, 7 for Trego?
8. I got 8.
Okay,
you guys are supposed to be the smartasses. What's going on? Huh?
Bol and Trego,
what did you roll?
You guys don't notice anything.
14.
And what did you say, Niv?
19.
19, okay. Groggle, you don't really notice much as you're riding along, but you do notice above you there's a bunch of birds circling around you, and they look something like vultures of some sort circling.
Like they're circling.
But to me, they're
circling near us.
They're circling above you, following you along as you go along the forest. Niv. You notice, in fact, the same vultures as you look up into the sky, but you notice in particular one bird sticks out. It's sort of, you can notice even from this distance, it's a majestic kind of eagle. It seems to fly higher than the others. It's swooping in large loops around the others, seeming to trace your path and follow you along. And Arid, who is riding next to you, he notices you looking up, and he looks into the sky, casts his gaze upwards as well. And with a smile and a bit of a chuckle, he says, it looks like we're being followed. Hopefully they won't be joining us for dinner. Gives another little sort of chuckle. Arid really respects you, Niv. He thinks you are indeed the leader of the group, so he's He's happy to be riding next to you.
Does he notice the different bird, or does he just notice the vultures?
He just notices the vultures.
Okay, I'm going to point out the different bird up there to him.
He looks back up and says, "Well, isn't that interesting? Never seen an eagle quite like that one in these parts. That's strange." Looks back. Doesn't really seem to care, though. He's too busy.
Do we hear this, or is it just between him and Niv?
Just Niv. It's just Niv and Arid.
Do I understand the significance of a different bird like that, especially since he told me it's not from around here?
Give me a nature check.
A nature check? Holy crap.
19.
19.
Jeez, son.
You also notice, you recognize that type of eagle is not typical for these kind of parts. They don't usually come to these plain areas. So you notice as well, it's a bit out of place. And you see it's still swooping around. It's swooping with the vultures. It's not really doing anything strange. It's just swooping around with the vultures.
Is it magical? Can I tell?
You can't really tell unless you cast some sort of spell to tell that. But no, it seems like a normal bird to you. It's really not that strange. But strange that it's here. That's really all you can say from your check.
So I have a question just in D&D general in this world.
Yep.
Are there like familiars and stuff in this? Like where you have like an eagle or a hawk that you could see through or like communicate with? Is that like something that exists? Or
you can talk with animals, yeah. There's spells that allow you to communicate with animals.
I have a familiar spell.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Make
so
the
that's why
you're familiar.
That's why I'm wondering if I notice that this is something different
I
than
gotta
just
go take
a
a shit,
random
guys.
bird.
I'll be back.
Well, maybe that's a good
Fucking
place
Grago.
for all of us to take a little break here. Let's take a 5-minute break, and we will continue on as you're riding north. 5-minute
Sounds
break.
good.
Break.
God damn it.
Yeah, you guys just had a short rest, and now you're taking off again. And Arid and Niv, you're having this conversation. Go ahead, Niv.
Yeah, well, since Arid doesn't seem too concerned about this strange bird.
No, not really.
I want to point it out to Tim and Chad that we've got followers that aren't locals.
Would I understand any of the vultures or birds as being threatening from my years of being in the forest and...
Give me a nature check as well, Bolin.
Yeah.
16.
16. You know that vultures typically are following prey or things that are dead or things that are wounded. So, I mean, Arid's comment is quite interesting.
Like mixed with the eagle, like does that?
No, the eagle. That's strange to you. Yeah, that doesn't really with a 16. That doesn't really seem to really ring any bells for you.
Okay.
No.
I mean, can I make a nature check too? Because obviously I'm going to look up and...
Yeah, you look up as well. Go ahead and give me a nature check.
+3. 19.
19. Yeah, so same as Niv, you and Arid, you notice that this is strange that this company that there's an eagle above vultures. That doesn't usually happen. So that catches your interest. It's a strange thing, but you're not too worried about it. I mean, it doesn't seem to be a threat to you. So
okay, all right. Yeah, I suppose we just keep kind of going.
Let's carry on.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys continue on, and after a few more hours of riding along the eastern forest, you see a new line of forest begin to emerge from the west, with its dark coniferous trees bending their branches outward as if to invite or to challenge wanderers to venture into the forest's shadowy canopy. And in the distance, still a good ride off, you see the black line of the eastern forest eventually intersect with the black line of the emerging western forest. And this is what Arid was talking about with you, Niv, is the Baratu bottleneck, where the forest comes together, where the plains end for a time, where you enter the forest before opening up into more plains again. And Arid brings his horse to a standstill. He begins to scan the distance for any sign of movement or danger. And it's beginning to be a little more difficult to see as the light is getting a bit harder now as the day is getting a bit into its later hours now. You've been riding for quite a few hours. Is there anything you want to do or say at this point?
Do I see anything? Are we like in a line of a horizontal line, or are we like stacked up front to back?
Niv, Arid and Niv are riding next to each other because obviously Arid thinks that you're the leader. You've got the other two privates behind you. Let me get their names again. Private Waller.
Yeah, they're with us too. That's right.
Yeah, you've got two other soldiers with you, and you guys. I don't know how you're lining up behind them.
Well, I would.
So I want to be in the middle.
Yeah, I would be in the middle. I would think we should have Groggle take up the rear.
Yeah. Groggle, are you okay with that, or do you want to take out your mace and kill me now?
Yeah.
I pull up my Morning Star.
Hey, Eric, move your camera down a little bit.
Okay.
Or like stand up a little bit more. There you go. That's better.
Just
like what the fuck do you guys expect?
I don't know.
We want more
what
there.
sort of sense.
Don't ask me to do anything.
I would suggest, Groggle, that since you are so strong and able-bodied, that you take up the rear in case anybody were to come in from behind us and try to surprise attack us. Are you okay with that?
Make him take a check.
Well, do you agree or not?
Yeah, what do you think of his logic?
You are the strongest fighter among us.
Where would you like to go?
I still don't know. Where
do you think you should go?
We're never going to get to Theondir.
Where do you think you should go, Groggle?
I'm fine right where I'm at. That's
and where is that? Where is right where I'm at?
I had to take a shit.
Yeah. Wherever you are, Groggle, I'm going to go ahead of you. So if you are,
yeah, I would like you to guard my
back.
Damn
you, Tim Binkley!
Groggle, I would like you to guard my back.
All right,
I would
that's
trust
fine.
no one more.
I will go on the rear. I will go on the rear.
Okay.
So does Arid see anything?
No, he doesn't notice
anything. Can I kind of converse with him, see where he's looking, see if I see anything?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just kind of.
I'll give you advantage.
Go ahead and talk to him. Yeah. What do you want to ask him?
Want to ask him if the bottleneck is known for raiders, or if that's something that we're more vulnerable to here, or if what we should be looking for in those western western tree line.
I mean, he turns to you and he says, raiders don't seem to be the real problem here. This is the least favorite part of the journey for me. There's always been something about the Theondir forest, really strange. Particularly this section, the Baratu bottleneck. Folks have long tried to clear out the forest here, but as quickly as it's cleared out, it seems to grow right back again. Even the political powers, they've tried to build up garrisons and towers in order to control the area, but within a few years, they end up overgrown and useless. There's perhaps some strange magic at work here, who knows? But I do know we don't want to dally here for too long. It's best we get through as quickly as possible. Now, I know an abandoned fort a short ride in towards the east, which is probably the most secure place we'll find around here. We can make camp there for the night.
How far away is this?
Once we come into the bottleneck, it's only a few mile ride.
And this is just between those two?
It's just between Niv and Eric.
Into that other forest, or we stay in the forest we're in?
Oh, so we're riding on the eastern forest. When the western forest comes in and they come and converge, that's the bottleneck, the Baratu bottleneck. We're gonna have to ride through that forest a couple miles, but I think I remember where that fort is. We can camp there for the night.
That kind of seems like a really terrible idea. I don't know about anyone else.
What do you suggest we do otherwise?
Yeah, I'm not hearing this, man. So you gotta
you.
make that.
That's up to you, leader.
Motherfucker.
What time of night? What time of day is it?
It's pushing on to late afternoon, early evening at this point. You guys have been riding for many hours.
Let me ask you something, Dan. Do you have any beef jerky?
Like in real life? No.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna suggest that we don't go to this fort. That seems like it's gonna draw attention to whatever is in those woods.
What are you suggesting then? Should we camp out here on the plains?
I thought we were in the forest.
We're on the very edge of the forest. We got the plains to the left. We're in the forest, right just on the edge here.
That's creepy. No, check. That's creepy. We're on the plane. We're on the red forest.
Hey, that's just Aaron.
I think being.
I'm just kidding, man. It's good.
Being
it's all
on
good.
the edge of the plains like that, in this safer sounding forest, seems like it's a better idea because we have a view of the plains, so anything coming from that way we'll see, and then we're not in that creepy ass magical growing forest thing.
All right,
that's my suggestion.
You want to see you saying you want to camp here for the night?
I think that's the better plan.
But the bottleneck eventually we're going to have to go through it. There ain't no other way through here. We can camp here tonight if you want. Is that what you want?
Have we made it up to them by this time? Yeah. If they're just standing there, we made it up to them, right?
Oh, they're still riding along, so you guys aren't hearing any of this.
Oh, okay.
So apparently, Trouble in Theondir is season 4.
I think it would be better to ride through there in as much daylight as possible, and not spend the night in creepy ass woods.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
$16.
Okay, he snaps his fingers. He says, "Well then, Feneth, come over here. We're gonna make camp here for the night." And he calls over the 2 other privates. They come behind him, and they dismount from their horses, and you begin to make camp for the night. You're still a few miles away from the bottleneck where the forests converge, the western and the eastern forest. But right now, you're making your camp right on the edge of the forest and the plains, and you make a camp for the evening. Is that okay with the rest of you? The rest of you come riding up. You see these soldiers dismounting. You see Era dismounting. You come up and join.
Wait, we're stopping here,
guys.
And I'm gonna.
All this day. It's like 4 p.m. Why don't we just keep riding until it's dark?
Well, because we can't get through the bottleneck before dark, right?
It'll probably be into 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. Yeah.
Still daytime at 8 o'clock,
yeah,
isn't it?
By the time we get to it, or by the time we're through it?
It'll be into the evening when you get through it, yeah.
I'd say let's ride.
Yeah,
let's ride as far as...
I thought it was later.
Let's ride through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought, I was under this assumption that it was like dusk already and like the sun was setting and it was getting dark.
Oh, it's 6, 7 o'clock at night right now.
So if we can get through it before full dark... I'd be down with
so
that.
you guys all understand that we're not gonna get through it.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Well, no.
What if we
don't know that.
Yeah, we don't know. Like we gotta play this as our characters.
What if we ride hard?
If we can get through it before full dark, I'm fine with riding through it.
I'm an idiot, so I'll just hang out back here. Whatever.
But I would agree that I don't want to ride through that forest at nighttime.
And Aaron looks at you, Trago. He says, "What was your name again, little man?"
Little man? First off, I'm a halfling, not a man. My name is Trago.
Oh, salty dog.
Yeah.
All right, Trago. I've been talking with your leader here, Niv, and he thinks we should camp here for the night. Now, I think that's an okay idea. Either we camp here for the night or we push on to the fort. That's my idea. And we have secure walls. We can hide ourselves there. but we ain't gonna be getting through this bottleneck tonight. So we gotta camp somewhere. You guys, all you, need to make up your mind now.
I defer to your expertise on the forest.
Yes, Arid, you are obviously the expert in this area. Yeah. I would absolutely defer to what you think is the best option for us. I am a stranger in these lands.
We're doing a camp here for the night, he says.
No, right?
And he starts to pull out his pack and set up his his mess kit, his tent, and everything under Niv's instructions, Niv's guidance. Again, he has a lot of deference for you, Niv.
So when this all goes perfectly fine, you guys can thank me.
So wait a second. Why? So now we got to start thinking. Why does he have that deference to you?
Because he talked to him at the inn before.
I think it might be more here.
Well, I think I was with him. Wasn't I with you when you talked to him?
Yeah, you were with Niv when that happened. Yeah.
And I remember like the whole cantrip, and he was trying to do magic and shit. And, yeah. But so are we up on a hill, or are we like overlooking the forest, or is it just kind of like spread out around us?
No, it's so you've got the plains to your left. It's pretty flat, and then it goes into the forest. And the forest is a bit hilly. I mean, there's some stones and stone croppings in its forest. You guys obviously are in a little bit, so you're sort of you can see the plains, but you still have enough cover from the forest.
Okay, so I'm gonna like kind of wave Niv and Bolin over to me. To discuss like how we're gonna do watches tonight. I'm assuming we're gonna probably do a 2-man watch.
Yep. So you guys start making camp up, setting up camp. You start making some food, and and Arid also says to you, he says to you, all right, we need to decide who's gonna be on watch here. We got several watches if we're gonna get a full night of rest here. What do you guys want to do?
Well, I'll suggest I'll take first watch.
Yeah, I will take.
Yeah,
I only need 4 hours of rest. Yeah. So as long as I rest for 4 hours, I can take the rest of the night. Watch.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably better for you to take the late watch.
I'll take the second or third.
So you can do like I'll take first watch with one of the soldiers or whatever.
Okay, so you guys start making some food. You have some sustenance there. You finish up that. You pack all your stuff up. You get your all your supplies ready, and you head down for a night of rest. Trego, you're going to take the first watch. Who are you going to be watching with?
So I have a quick question for you, Matt.
Yeah.
I have an explorer's pack that comes with rations. Mm-hmm. Do rations do anything?
That's just your food and supplies. It'll get you, Yeah,
technically, like when you play the game, you're supposed to like make sure you buy rations. But
we forgot that one time.
But I mean, it's all about having fun. So like.
Well,
we'll say this: when you guys finally get to Theondir, your rations will probably be cut in half because you've had a good 4 or 5 days of travel.
I'm just wondering if I eat rations, if it does anything, or if it's just we're resting. Remove one rations.
If you are exhausted, like Trego is, you will need to have food and water in order to get over your exhaustion point. So rations are incredibly important there, along with rest. Yeah. So for Trego, it's incredibly important he has rations. For the rest of you, of course, you need to eat. Otherwise, you will get exhausted. If you don't eat after so many days, you'll start to have exhaustion problems. Yeah. So rations are incredibly important. It's important you eat every day.
Okay.
And drink every day. And thankfully, there's enough fresh water in this area, so you'll have plenty of water. You don't have to worry about that. So Trego, you take the first watch for the night.
With maybe one of the soldiers or whatever.
Okay, so you can take the first watch with Wallard, one of the soldiers, and go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
What's my perception at again? 14. God damn it.
14.
Get that wisdom up.
And Wallard rolled quite well there. So you guys, the first couple hours, you don't notice anything. You just hear some sounds in the distance, like normal forest sounds. Nothing strange. Nothing really happens. First watch goes past without any issues.
All right.
Second watch.
How long is first watch?
We got about 2 hours, right?
Yeah, probably I'd say about 2 hours because we have the 4 of us and 3 other guys. There's 7, so 2.5. Yeah, probably. I would say.
Okay. Because yeah, I can't do anything until I get 8 hours of rest.
Oh, so you need a full 8.
Yeah, he needs a full rest.
Oh, I didn't realize that. So do we want to? I mean, should we said something about like you getting a full 8? Because you're pretty much worthless.
You can rest the whole night. I mean, we have 2 soldiers that can.
Yeah.
2 other soldiers that can keep watch, and I'll take the 3rd watch.
You're not talking about me.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed.
Well, yeah,
exactly.
You went to bed, and then I'll get Groggle up for the 2nd watch and maybe the 2nd soldier.
No, okay. I just told you I'm not going to get. No, I'm sleeping all the way through.
God damn it!
I've saved you guys' ass so many times. I need a little relief.
Yeah, let him sleep.
Groggle, you've put us in the. Okay, yeah.
So you go wake up the other soldier.
I kind of want to see
you wake up the other soldier.
Try and wake up a half ogre.
And you can wake up Arid as well if you want.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I would think that we would have agreed to like the order of the watch before whatever.
Okay. So Arid and Feneth will take the next watch. The other 2 soldiers, and you, Groggle, are still sleeping. Nivier's still sleeping. Trago, you go off to sleep. Can you all guys give me a couple minutes with Trago?
Yep.
If you want to mute your headphones.
Oh, this is my favorite part.
Trago.
What's up? Yep.
As you close your eyes, your mind begins to wander, and you feel your body becoming lighter and lighter. A gentle darkness comes over you, and your breathing deepens. Inhale, exhale. Trago. You hear a gentle voice whispering in your ear. With a peaceful flutter of your eyelids, you raise your gaze upwards to see that you are lying in a small bed in a warmly lit house. In the corner is a blazing fire with several pots hanging above it, emitting wafting puffs of steam and the pleasant aroma of a hearty stew. You've been sleeping for 3 days now. As you turn your head, you see standing next to the foot of the bed a middle-aged halfling woman, clothed in a simple but nevertheless elegant blue dress, her gentle green eyes encased by the small wrinkles of a face that has seen much hardship, but also much joy. My dear boy, you've been suffering from a terrible fever. We thought we would lose you. And your nightmares. You've been screaming about ships, about soldiers, fires, raiders. We haven't known what to do. A quiet giggle from behind the woman, and a small girl pokes her head out, smiling at you. She steps around and grasps the woman's hand. Your sister has also been deathly worried for you. You slowly stand up. The woman takes a cautious steps towards you, beginning to raise her fingers towards your cheek. My son, I'm glad you are here with us again. And with that, her hand finally rests gently on the side of your face. Do not give up hope. Choose life. You expect the hand to be warm, like the rest of the room, but instead the woman's hand is icy cold, so cold that it begins to burn your skin. Instinctually you pull away and your eyes move along the woman's arm back to her face. Rather than the welcoming and gentle look that you were first met with, you see instead the woman's face frozen in an expression of horror, her eyes wide open and unmoving, petrified. To her side, you see the small girl with the same expression, also frozen in terror. Behind you, a powerful wind begins to blow, nearly pushing you out of balance, and in front of your eyes you see cracks begin to form in the face and the hands of the woman, which grow larger and larger. With a deafening crack, the woman's head begins to crumble to pieces and is blown away by the powerful wind like sand in a storm. The crumbling moves down her body and into the body of the girl, and within a few seconds, both figures have entirely eroded and disappeared. Darkness immediately envelops the room, except for a small ray of light in the distance. And as you look, you see in the faint glow a figure with its back to you. Head down, right hand open and hanging by its side, and on the back side of the hand, another faint red glow. What looks to be some kind of symbol, like a dragon surrounding some kind of circular shape. And all at once, the wind ceases. Silence. 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 And everything goes black. With a violent jolt, you awaken as a scream escapes your mouth. Your heart is racing, your breathing is frantic, your eyes are darting back and forth across the dark room. You are covered in sweat, but at the same time you are cold, freezing cold.
Damn, son.
What?
What?
All right. Did you kill everybody?
Yep. I am now a solo player in this campaign.
Everyone's dead.
To bed. Yep.
Trago's level 12.
Niv, Groggle, and Bolin, you were jolted awake suddenly by the scream that you hear.
Oh, no.
Trago's scream, in fact. When you open your eyes, you see him sitting next to you, wide awake, frantic, his eyes darting back and forth, his breathing frantic and heavy. And then you see him lie back down.
Stop. I smack him like that.
You smack him in the face, and he sort of snaps out and wakes up and looks at you. His eyes sort of roll back again. He lies back down and falls back asleep.
That was weird.
Yeah. What kind of drugs are you on, man? I want some. You sound like one.
So the last Arid and Finnith. Is that his name? Let me see. Is that the name I gave that guy?
Soldier number 1.
Soldier number 1. We'll call him Finnith. Fenneth. Yeah, Fenneth. Arid and Fenneth finally decide to head off to sleep, and they go wake you up, Bolin, for the last watch. Are you going to have that watch by yourself, or are you going to have someone else with you?
I'll be okay by myself.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Yeah. Famous last words.
Oh, I got to roll the dice.
3.
So you don't really notice anything. You're doing great. Things look just fine.
Sorry, 5.
5. Oh. And after about are you gonna do 4 hours here? 4 hours of a watch?
Well,
okay.
Whatever's left. As long as I rested for 4 hours.
You got 4 hours left. Okay. About the third hour, you see a faint glow come and sort of rest on your foot. A little light, and then suddenly the light disappears. Give me another perception check.
Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, can't we just get to Theondir or wherever the
12.
12. And as you look out, you notice several other faint glows. Suddenly, they come and start glowing again, and then after a little while, they'll flick off again. And a few seconds later, flick on. And flick off. No, tiny little firefly-like glows. And after a while, you notice that there's actually quite a few of these moving around in the bushes, flicking on, flicking off.
I'm gonna go collect as many as I can.
Okay, so you head out and start to follow these firefly-like lights, and they sort of head out and flick on, flick off. It gets a little dark, and they start heading towards a bit of a stone outcropping. And And just as you're about to grab one, it flicks off and disappears again. These things
like it disappears. I can see them, right?
Like the light goes off, and it's pretty dark at this point.
I mean, I have dark vision though. I can see them.
Oh, right, you do have dark vision. That's true.
Yeah.
So you can see these little insect thingies, and then flick on again, and flick off. Do you have anything to catch them with?
Oh shit. Shit. I mean, I have shit. I mean, I have a blanket. I can,
what was that word, Tim? Say it again.
Can I want to take my blanket and see if I can. Oh no, that doesn't work either. I'll just try and grab some. I only need a few of them.
Mm-hmm. And as you try to grab them, you're able to grab hold of one. And as you grab that one, it flicks off and flicks on and flicks off. And in your hand, you have this little sort of glowing light. And you look around you, and there's the other 30, 40 are starting to sort of converge, heading towards this rock outcropping.
Okay.
And they're actually sort of starting to disappear. You open your hand. Oh, go ahead.
Does rock have any symbols on it or any markings that might be of interest?
Give me an investigation check.
8.
8. No, it just looks like a normal rock outcropping. There's a slight crevice in the side, though, that you do notice. And as you notice, these little firefly lights begin to sort of move into the crevice and converge in there. You open your hand, and there you have one little one sitting on the palm of your hand, flicking on, flicking off. The rest of them have now faded and moved into the crevice.
Can I look in the crevice? Let me look into it.
You walk a little closer, and it's pretty dark in there, but you do see a faint glow from these little bugs in the distance, and they're still moving deeper into the darkness.
I'm going to cast light.
Okay.
On the rock. So I'm going to touch the rock, and the rock is going to illuminate.
Rock, it's a glow. So as you put your hand against the rock, suddenly the rock begins to illuminate, and you see that this is sort of a wet. There's moisture on the side of this crevice, and it goes in a long distance. The light actually goes in. What is that? It's a 30-foot spell. Is it the range of light 30 foot?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So you see 30 feet in, it goes in, the crevice actually ends after about 20 feet, and the light sort of heads into a larger cave-like structure, and you can see all these little lights are sort of dancing around, moving and floating very sort of carefree into this larger cave-like structure.
Can I fit into the rock if I wanted to squeeze in? Could I?
Yeah, it's large enough that you can fit your whole body in if you want.
Okay. I'm not going to go in now, but I'm going to make note of it.
Okay.
And just go back to the camp. How far? I'm not far away from the camp.
No, not far at all. Yeah, it's only probably you only walked a good 70, 80 feet from where you were sitting. So as you turn around, you see all these lights sort of floating around in this cave, moving inward, and you head back to the camp and sit down and finish off your last watch. Give me one more perception check.
Was I able to capture any of these?
You have one light in your hand, still holding in your hand. I don't know what you want to do.
It's not a firefly. Is it a bug?
It's some strange little.
I don't recognize it.
No, you don't recognize it. Give me a nature check, actually. First.
19.
19. Yeah, it's nothing you've really seen before. You know, it's not a firefly. It's something else. But it's hard to tell. It's this like black sort of speck, and then it lights up really quickly, and then flicks off, and it's hard to see what it is, and lights up again. But you have it in your hand now. You go back and join the camp.
Okay, I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna keep it in my hand. I'm gonna show the crew when they wake up.
Okay, so give me one more perception check for the latter part of your watch.
God damn it.
9. Okay. You don't notice really anything else for the rest of the evening. And after a few hours, the sun begins to come up in the distance. And once again, the purples and the oranges and the pinks, beautiful sunrise starting to come up. The sun begins to come over the tops of the western trees, the western forest, and you are now into the new morning. So all of you can go ahead and reclaim all of your spell slots, all of your hit points after a fairly uneventful night. And
I wanna relay everything I saw to the group.
Okay.
There's a cave over here that I saw a ton of these weird little bugs, and I'll show them the bug or whatever it is. They were all gravitating towards this gap cave in this rock right over here. Do we want to go check it out?
So we get full hit points back and half of our hit dice.
Full hit points back and half of your hit dice. Yep.
Okay.
And any second level slots.
Yep.
Spells.
Any spell slots you get back as well.
Yeah. What does the corporal and the soldiers? I'm assuming you're showing them as well. It's not just the three
I'm showing
of us.
everybody. Yep.
Do the corporal have any ideas of what these bugs are?
I mean, they look at the insect and let me actually roll for that. They have no idea. They've never seen anything like this before.
I guess
so
I can.
They're just as confused as any
spells now, right?
Yeah. So you are able, after your long rest now, you're able to choose. You can choose your new spells for the day.
Okay.
This
might take me a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bolin, and I want to check this cave out here.
Yeah, does anybody else want to come with us? Groggle, would you like to accompany us on our excursion into this cave?
Eric, can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Mute. That's because Groggle's on mute.
Uh-oh. Nope.
No, still can't hear you.
You gotta plug your headset in, Bo. Come on, man.
Groggle's sleeping. Nope.
Turn your thing up.
Do you wanna go with them? Thumbs up.
Here.
Oh my god.
Well, instead of flicking us off, solve the problem.
Yeah. Hold on.
There we go. Now we can
All
hear
right,
you.
now we
Hey,
can hear
can
you.
you hear me?
Yeah, we
All
can
right.
hear you.
You guys didn't hear me anything?
No.
I've been talking for like an. God damn it.
No, we heard nothing. All I saw was you eating chips and looking at your phone.
Yeah, so
Do
I'm
you want
gonna
to come with us into this
Bolin.
cave? Or?
No.
All right. So Niv, soldiers, does anybody want to come with us?
Actually, I
want to go check this out.
I will go with.
I do, but I need to figure out my spells. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because trying to figure out, because I can prepare 6 first level spells. Do I get to prepare?
You can prepare any number of
2?
first level spells based on your wizard level and your
Intelligence, right?
And your intelligence, yes. So if your intelligence is +3, you get 6 spell slots that you can combine in any. You can do 2 first level and 4 second level if you want.
Okay, so it's
6
not
second
on a
level
per level basis.
It
So like
gets better and
You
better
gain
as you go.
gain another prepared spell as you gain levels.
Right, but since it's just a rest and not a level, I'd still only have 6, but now it's between the first and second level spells.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, you can prepare any of those. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so let's go check out this cave.
So you guys walk back to this cave, and you come to the crevice, the opening there that Bolin was at the evening before, and you sort of walk in, and it's pretty dark in there, so you don't really see anything as you enter the crevice.
I'm gonna cast light. I'm gonna cast light on my mace.
Okay. Go ahead and cast light on your mace, and suddenly, poof, this amazing light fills up the crevice again, and ends up filling up the cavern as well. You can see slightly into the cavern. It's a good 20 feet in, so your light kind of casts into the cavern a slight bit.
Okay. I'm gonna grab. What were you saying, Tim? You just want to show me this?
Take a look around. Yeah, I just want to take a look around. I didn't want to go in by myself.
Okay.
In case something was down here.
Do you want to go in first, and I'll follow you?
Yeah, I'll go in first.
Okay.
Okay. So you two walk in.
Groggle is not with us, right?
Oh, Groggle's hanging out eating breakfast still.
No, I came with.
Oh, you came with. Okay.
Okay, so you're in.
Yeah. Like
Can
it's
he-
gonna
can
cost.
Grog
It's gonna
go
cost
fix?
you a gold, Tim. But
I don't. No, I don't want you to come with if you don't.
I'm outside.
All right.
So you guys headed through the cavern, and as you bring your weapon with the light on it, you walk through the crevice, and it opens up into a somewhat large cavern. It's probably a good 25 feet across, and you can see the sort of glistening of water. You can hear some dripping from the condensation above you. But you really don't notice too much. It looks like a normal sort of cave, and there are no lights left. There's no small little flashing lights from the evening before. They're completely gone from the cave.
All right, I want to take a look around and I want to.
Yeah, how
Feel
how
the
good is
walls,
his light?
or
Is
are
it
there
like,
any-
is his light pretty like? If he can move it around, it'll shine on anything that we need to see. Or
Oh
do
yeah,
we need
yeah,
more
it'll
light?
shine on everything you need to see. Yeah, yeah.
Alright,
Go ahead and
yeah.
give me an investigation check, Bolin.
12.
12. Yeah, you slide your hand around it. It feels like just normal stone. There's really nothing strange about it. There's nothing out of the ordinary that you notice. It feels like a normal cave. And as you bring the light closer, you see once again there's sort of glimmering algae and condensation, like you'd expect inside of a dark cave.
All right. I just wanted to make sure I just wanted to check it out, and I didn't want to go by myself. But if there's nothing in here,
Okay.
then we can go.
All right.
All right, you gentlemen
I
heading
agree,
back. Yeah.
No, I burst through the door. And say, there's gotta be something here.
Problem is here.
I'm just kidding.
So you guys head back, and you can tell that Arid and Waldard and Feneth are getting a little antsy to get moving. They've already packed up their horses, and they are getting ready to break camp and to move on. And Arid says to you, "All right, it's time that we need to get moving here. We got to get through this forest and get to Theondir as soon as possible. We got a lot to report to Theondir."
Yeah, I say we saddle. Let's get going. Let's saddle up and move out. And of course, as Trago, I'm going to be eating a small meal on the way because, of course, I'm hungry as shit.
Yeah.
Is there anything around our campsite or in the forest or the plain that would be considered herbs?
Go ahead and give me a nature check.
What kind of herbs?
Just herbs.
Swedish.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay.
No way. No way.
Yeah.
You notice certain plants that you could pluck them, and you could in fact have the roots that would give you some sustenance. You don't notice any medicinal plants at this point, but you do find plants that would give you some sustenance if you eat the roots.
Spoken like a true Swede.
Okay, because I'm just gonna pick 4, 5, 6 handfuls.
Okay.
Worth.
Yep. Stuff them down in
Stick 'em
your
in my
pocket
pack.
there.
Yeah.
Your pack, so you have a little extra food. Yeah, it's sort of kind of like a licorice root. It's got a nice sharp taste to it, so that'll be pretty good. But also give you some good sustenance on your trip. All right, Arid leads you guys on, and he's a little antsy to get through this forest. And he leads you on. You see the western and the eastern forest now converge on the place that is called the bottleneck, the Barutu bottleneck. And as you approach the woods, it begins to get a bit darker as you move through the woods. And your horses immediately sort of stop in their tracks. Go ahead, everybody, and give me an animal handling check.
Damn it.
Animal handling check.
Ooh.
Natural 1. Crap.
I got an
dead.
8.
What did you
I
have?
got an 8.
8.
8. 1.
18.
18.
I rolled the
15.
there.
15. Okay. Immediately, Bolin and Bolin and Niv, your horses, they whip their heads up and begin to whinny and begin to turn around.
No.
Move the opposite
I'm
direction.
Bolin. Shit, I'm on Bolin.
Oh, that's
horse.
right. We're
I
on the
forgot
same
about that.
horse.
Oh, you guys are on the same horse.
horse,
Okay,
yes.
then we'll take Trago's check there. Niv, your horse stops and whinnies. It turns its head, but Bolin and Trago, and Groggle, you are able to move through the forest with the other soldiers. Niv, you're left a little bit behind, so you're going to be a little bit behind them now. It takes you a couple seconds to get your horse under control again.
Could you imagine the movie about this whole story? Like, what the fuck?
And with an uneasy gait
from
the horses begin to cross the threshold of the forest, and the light and the warmth of the border between the grasslands and the forest now begin to pass. And all around you, it grows darker and darker the further you go into this bottleneck area. And like a specter rising from a grave of ferns, a mist begins to form around the feet of the horses. Nib, you're a few paces behind now, and it begins to slowly engulf the party. It's becoming more and more difficult to see around you. And on your face, you're hit, each of you, with a cool breeze whistling through the tree branches. It sends something of a shiver down your spine. And you look up and you see above you the canopy of deciduous leaves rising 70 or 80 feet above your head, like the ceiling of a Gothic cathedral. And the scent of moss and decaying wood is almost nauseating in its intensity. And Arid pushes you on. Come, we need to push on. We need to get through here. Follow me. And he pushes on through the forest, slowly, bit by bit.
Okay, so I want to pull my, I want to hit him in the head.
You're going to hit Arid?
Why?
No, the bad guy.
Which bad guy?
Isn't there a bad guy?
No?
It's mist. It's just fog.
It's just mist?
Crocco pulls out his Morning Star and takes a swipe at the mist.
Yes, I do that.
I mean, it works for your character.
Hey, what? Hey, yeah. What are you taking a poop?
No, I'm getting some beer. I had to go down in the basement to pour some blood orange.
And Arid says, he says to you, he turns to you all now. He says,
"What's wrong with Groggle?"
Yeah, what is wrong with your friend? It's just a little bit of mist. Follow me, though. I've got a path through the woods. If we follow the ridgeline here, we can arrive at the edge of the forest within a few miles. And the group begins to follow Arid along a stone ridge, and eventually you begin to see. Yeah,
I'm gonna say I'm gonna pull my short bow out and knock an arrow, just because I feel like this is a little bit of a tense forest, so I'm gonna knock an arrow.
It's ready to go. You're ready to go.
Yeah. Yep.
He does that, and I pull my
Okay. Morning Star. You get to the top of this ridge. Now, I would like all of you now to take a stealth check. We're going to do a group stealth check at this point.
Oh, a group stealth check.
On horses?
Stealth check. Yep.
Ooh.
You're still trying to ride as stealthily as possible.
21.
20.
Oh, I'm at 18, but we're on the same horse, so
10. Yeah.
Whoa. Holy moly.
You know,
so
Groggle's just swiping
at
at
the
the
half.
Die, fog.
amazingly,
Fuck off.
amazingly, you guys begin to make it through the forest without any issues. You're stealthily moving along this gray rock in the woods, and your horses are very quietly making their way. And in the distance, you see an opening, a clearing beginning to form, which is the end of the bottleneck. It seems as if you have made it successfully through the bottleneck without any problems, and you begin to ride out into the open plains. Another expanse of open plains similar to what you rode through on your way to the bottleneck. Is there anything you want to do now when you enter into the plains as you head through here?
We look in the sky. Do we see the vultures in the sky and the eagle? Are they still there, or are they following us?
Give me another perception check, Bolin.
15.
15. You look up in the sky and you don't see any of the vultures. The vultures have stopped following you. But strangely enough, you do see up in the sky a small speck that you do recognize to be that same eagle that was following you before, and it's still tracking your journey.
He wants your nuts.
Guys, that eagle's still there. It's following us.
All right. Can we stop for a second and, like, make sure that there's nothing, like, kind of scout? Because you said it's like an open plain. There's nothing that we can see that's, a danger to us. There's no camps of raiders or ambushes that we can plainly see, obviously.
Trago, go ahead and give me a perception check as well.
Good job, Chad. Remind him that you need to check.
Yeah, that's going to be bad, too. So I don't see shit.
Nah, it looks like a normal plane, so you don't notice anything at all. So you guys you're feeling pretty good.
Hold on. Let me take a perception check. 2.
Yeah.
Groggle is entirely off on his own. He's not noticing a thing. So you don't notice anything. It's just like the same exact kind of plains as before you hit the forest. And you guys keep riding on. Arid is now pushing the pace a little bit more. He seems to be dropping the stealthy riding now. He notices that you're getting closer to Theondir. He wants to get you there quickly. So after a couple more hours, you guys are riding through these forests. You eventually come to the final grass-covered knoll on the edge of the valley, leading down to the city of Theondir. And what you see as you come across this last knoll is a breathtaking sight, like nothing you have witnessed before. Mile upon mile, as far as you can see, of brilliant white stone walls rising up over 50 feet tall off the ground, with majestic cylindrical towers jutting up over every 200 feet or so along this perimeter. And the stone from the milky structure is glistening in the sun, casting this warm glow of indirect sunlight upon the ground around it. And even more incredible, however, is that from within the wall extends a shimmering green energy, like the film of a soap bubble dancing in the rays of the sun, that launches into the sky, what would appear to be thousands of feet above the city, where it appears to bend inwards and create something of an iridescent dome covering the city of Theondir. Niv.
So we finally showed up.
Theondir.
We finally made it to Theondir.
Yeah.
We made it.
Hey, Matt. Like, honestly, like, seriously, like, this is fucking great, dude. This is.
All right, let's let him get on with the story, man. I want to hear this shit.
Niv, as you catch sight of the wandering white wall, you are struck by the majesty of Theondir and left utterly speechless. You feel a growing warmth on your face as a single tear slowly slides down your cheek before collecting it and dropping.
I'm gonna nudge Trago. Like, look at this. Look at this guy.
Look at this little bitch fucking crying like a pussy.
And as you come over the knoll, you guys see that there's a well-worn path snaking down the valley that begins to take form, like various tributaries of a river coming into a main channel. And it leads eventually to a portion of the wall, more fortified than the others, a portion that appears to be one of the main gates into the city. And as you come closer, you see that the first opening to the outer wall is flanked by enormous wooden and iron doors that are currently swung open, with a glimmering, sharp bronze portcullis perched overhead, prepared to be dropped at the first sight of danger. What do you want to do?
Well, we should just follow the soldiers. I mean,
I'm thinking we give
the
corporal the go-to on this for now.
Where's the nearest?
Arid is leading his other two privates, and they enter through this door, this large arch framework, and you're forced to turn to the left or to the right, and you head to the left in order to get around. It's arches around in order to sort of prevent ramming on the door, and you come around to another door similar to the first, and you enter through that, and directly in front of you, you see that a space opens up into something like a courtyard. And in front of you is a series of steps leading up to a stone platform running up against a wall with 7 arched openings through which you see the flicker of the same green energy that upon your approach you saw so majestically raising up over the outer wall. And above this layer is a layer of arrow slots, behind which you see the alert eyes of dozens of archers, with yet another platform on top of that, where at least a dozen crossbowmen are on watch, pacing back and forth, with bolts held in anticipatory tension as their eyes remain firmly fixed on each of you. Halt! You hear a gruff voice bark out from your flank, and a soldier similarly dressed as those in Mittendorf steps from around the gate, his hand held high in a stopping motion. State your purpose for entry into Theondir and procure your travel documents.
Yep. I'm going to pull out our summons that we received.
You pull out your summons, Trigo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt.
What do you do with it?
So is there somebody that would take that? Like I can ride up to like a captain or something?
Yep, so the man who has his hand up is standing there.
I'll walk up to it like very slowly. Oh, wait, actually I'm on Boland's horse, so it's me and Boland together.
Okay, yeah.
So do you want to pull yours out and we just kind of...
Yep, we'll walk up together. I'll pull mine out too.
You guys, you guys have always been good about pulling out.
Yeah, obviously you haven't with 2 kids.
Well,
so you guys,
it was right there. I had to take.
Yeah,
it was right there.
So you guys, we'll say
TV
you
upgrade.
procure your documents, and you give your 2 summons to this man, and he looks at the summons rather confused and takes a step back, and with a sort of serious look on his face, he gestures to another soldier who's better dressed than he is, who carries himself with a bit more of an air of authority. He comes over to him, and they step aside and begin to discuss something. And after a few minutes, the better dressed man walks over to you, Bolden, and to you, Trago, and he says, "Gentlemen, I would kindly request that you leave your weapons with your mount. Follow me." And he gestures to you.
Just the 2 of us?
He gestures to the rest of you as well, everyone in the party.
Okay.
He recognizes Arid and the other soldiers, and he lets them pass. He doesn't recognize you guys, and asks you to follow him.
He wants us to disarm ourselves.
Yes, disarm yourselves.
Wait.
So question.
Really? I'm not doing that. No.
How easy is it for me to hide something on my body? Just like a day, like, is that like, honest question, is it like really hard if I'm going to get searched? I don't know what the rules are for that.
Give me a sleight of hand check if you want to hide a dagger in your body, on your person. Give me a sleight of hand check.
I think I have to. I don't like going in there unarmed. Oh, 19. Sleight of hand plus 8.
Okay, 27.
Because I have expertise.
You slide a dagger ever so slightly into the boot, your left boot, and you have a dagger hidden in your boot, and nobody sees it.
I'll give him my bow and my mace.
Yeah, and then aside from that one dagger, I'm gonna disarm and I'm gonna like indicate like to Niv and like kind of nod like to Grago like just do it right now.
I don't understand though. I mean, whatever.
And I'm gonna be like, it's gonna be one of those things where like I'm like, no, like seriously, come on, like.
I hope this is not where we die, in a gutter. You know, like
right before you make it into Theondir.
I'm gonna turn around and tell Groggle there are dozens of arrows knocked at you right now. You can either give him your morning star or die.
I'm gonna do that. That's what I mean. I'm dumb enough that I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in.
Oh, okay. And you can see that the soldier, he doesn't appear to have any weapons on him either, so he doesn't appear to be too threatening. And he gestures for all of you to follow him. You've disarmed, you've laid your weapons with the horses. A few other soldiers come and pick up your weapons. They come and take your horses and hold them. And he leads you just around the corner to the gate room, which is the room right inside the gate when you first come in. It's a somewhat dark square room that has barrels and sacks in one corner. There's a stone stairway in the other corner winding upward to the tower battlements, which you saw when you came in. In the center of the room is a small, rough-hewn table with various burn marks on it, around which sit several chairs. And he looks at you and gestures and says, "Please, have a seat."
Who's he talking to?
All of you.
Oh.
I will sit. Yeah.
I'll sit down. I'll have a seat.
You sit down, and he says.
Eric just got up. Like,
he will not sit down.
That was the mic drop. I'm out of here. Yeah. So you all pull the chairs out. You sit down, sitting a little uneasy, perhaps. And he turns to you and says, "My name is Captain Druven. We've been expecting you." I'll have to explain all this for Groggle later. Captain Druven. Yeah. We've been...
How do you spell that?
Truevinn. Captain Druven. All right. We've been expecting you. This is an incredibly important errand you are making. Also important is that it has been kept confidential, as it says on the summons. Have you been followed by anyone?
Absolutely not. We've definitely covered our tracks.
I'm going to speak up
suspects.
And say there was some sort of weird fucking bird following us.
Oh. And I'm going to give Dan a little bit of a like, come on, man, look.
He looks at you ever so slightly and says, "Can you describe this bird for me?"
It was an eagle that is Arid in there with us?
No, Arid has left the soldiers. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to say that it's an eagle that the good corporal didn't recognize as being from around here. And it followed us for 2 days, however many days.
It took us from Mittendorf.
Yeah, the whole way here.
A strange occurrence indeed, he says. But no matter, you are here now. And he stares around at the group. And he looks at you, but in particular, Bolan. He says, "Have you revealed this summons or the purpose of your travels to anyone other than Captain Barnard?"
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, we had much need, and we had many opportunities given. Well, let me back up. There were many people that challenged our authority given to us by this summons, and it proved necessary multiple times because your soldiers were so inclined to violence rather than negotiation.
You see,
yeah, go ahead. We decided that it was either reveal our intentions or commit acts of violence against your soldiers and then those soldiers of Theondir. And so we decided reluctantly to procure our summons to save. How many
are there?
Just one guy.
Kill him.
God damn it. No, you don't get to do that right now. You don't get to do that right now because you haven't even listened to the conversation.
Yeah, you didn't even know what's happening right now.
Well, I mean, everybody's got to poop.
Yeah. So, Bolan, you see the corner of his mouth
4 times in one day.
kind of move into a bit of a snarl. And he says, "So you've revealed only to the military."
I'm going to look over at Trago and kind of give him a look of, I think so, but I'm not sure.
Yes. Unfortunately, yes, we have revealed ourselves to several members of your military. Higher ranking members.
But nobody else.
The
only people we told were people of Theondir.
Yeah.
Or loyal to Theondir.
Yes.
You do realize, he says, that this summons has been... The command was to keep it strictly confidential. Now, I understand revealing to the military is better than revealing to anyone else. But you must realize the importance of this summons. Confidentiality is confidentiality. And you can feel he's sort of giving you a bit of a scolding at this point. And he turns to you and says, "Let me see your other summons." He looks to you, Groggle. He looks to you, Niv. So Captain Druven turns to you, Groggle, and to Niv, and he says, "Of course, I also need to see your documents, your summons."
Sir, just to interject, sir, Niv here was our our faithful escort from whatever town I don't remember, but my character would remember.
Yeah.
From Haldir?
Yes, Haldir.
Yes, from Haldir.
It was our faithful escort from Haldir.
I'm going to say I appreciate the compliments, but I've got my summons right here, and I'm just going to pull out a piece of paper and cast minor illusion on it.
Oh!
Yeah, I was gonna say like what?
Motherfucker.
Oh.
Nice. Go ahead and give me, Niv, a deception check with advantage. Roll 2d20.
Boy. I hope
Do
this
we-
makes it. I hope this makes it.
And
Is she
Bolin,
deceiving all of us?
Well, because it says creature can determine they have to do an intelligence investigation check against my spell save DC if they use their action to examine it.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Sure. So, your spell DC is what?
It is 14.
Okay, so you go ahead and cast that. I'm gonna roll it. Yes. So that was a really crappy roll. So this paper suddenly shimmers and there's this glow across it. And as you bring it up, it looks exactly like the summons that Groggle also procures and gives to this guy. He takes both of them, looks over them, looks up at you, hands them back to you.
Do I believe that it's real?
Yeah, you
have.
have.
We
Give
have
me
no idea.
Here's where you need to give me a deception check. Or actually, give me a sleight of hand check, Niv.
18.
18. You guys have no idea. It looks like he procures
cool.
a real piece of paper. And
You were
suddenly
holding out
now
on
you
us,
guys
Niv.
are sort of taken aback,
Yeah.
like, holy crap, this guy's actually has a summons like the rest of us.
I'm not. I'm stupid.
you have no idea what's going on, Groggle. You
Yeah.
just... So he passes your summons back to you, and hands them back to you. He says, "All right, a word of wisdom for you now. Keep your summons confidential. When you finally get to Theondir Keep, you want to look for a man named Kalen Feuerbrandt. He will be your
Jesus.
contact person."
When did you turn Irish? Like what the
Halen?
fuck's going
Kalen Feuerbrandt.
Feuerbrandt.
He will be the contact person who will assist you and direct you once you arrive at the main entrance to the keep. But once again, I must insist, this must be kept confidential.
Sir, will we have an escort to the keep? Or are we expected to find it ourselves?
The keep is in the center of Theondir. You will find it. Head to the center of Theondir. You cannot miss it.
I think this might be a good spot to stop.
And so he stands up and he motions for you to enter, to leave the room, and he heads himself out and he points up to the stone platform and he says, go up to the top of the stone platform at the top of the stairs. Here you will find 7 polished circles of green dunite stone inlaid into the rock platform. Each of you take a position on one of the circles and wait in silence. And with that, he lets you walk forward. He turns and gestures towards several other soldiers who lead your horses and supplies to a separate, larger ground-level archway where they're tied up to hitching posts. And after a few minutes, after you guys have walked up these stone stairs and you take your place on these small, round, green stones, you hear the creaking of a wooden door to your left, and you see 7 hooded, cloaked figures walk in single file on the left and onto the platform where you're standing. And one by one, each of them takes a position in front of each of the 7 arches, and one by one, they gesture to each of you to approach them. Groggle, you step forward in response to the gesture, and you stop in front of the figure, who slowly raises his eyes to meet yours. His eyes are a brilliant deep blue that shift color like the swirling of water in a tropical lagoon. Slowly he opens his mouth with a tone almost musical. Of what reason are you worthy to enter through the walls of Theondir? I know everything. You have much.
Then we shall enter.
You have much that is yet to be conquered, my eagle traveler. But beware of your own strength and aspirations. Trago, you also move forward. You move.
Sorry.
Stupidity. Trago, you also move forward, as does Drago. You are likewise met by a figure with a similar brilliant eyes. He too looks you up and down before you hear his voice. His mouth does not move, but still you hear his words with perfect clarity. Of what reason are you worthy to enter the walls of Theondir?
Now I'm fucking drawing a blank, man.
Like, that don't count, dude. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know.
I got this fly bitch.
This fly. What was the question? What reason am I worthy to enter Theondir?
You fail.
No.
It didn't work, dude. It didn't work.
Instant death. Of what reason are you worthy to enter the walls of Theondir?
My skills are invaluable. I don't know, man. Like, I can't think of shit like this.
I did. I was like, spot
yeah, you
on,
had
Chad.
fucking words. Have you heard of what I did? My skills are unmatched in my chosen profession.
He nods to you. The same plague that consumed your line follows you to this day, but do not give up hope. Choose life, for life already goes ahead of you.
What in the actual fuck? Stop.
Just as with
Right?
Grago and Trigal, Niv, you
Motherfucker.
also step forward to the beckoning figure. He takes you by the hand, turns your hand upwards, and begins to trace the intersecting lines of your palms, whispering to you, of what reason are you worthy to enter through the walls of Theondir?
Because I'm pure of heart.
It's just one guy.
Have a childlike
Okay.
innocence.
One guy.
He looks into your eyes,
Crack him up.
and he says,
crack him up. Crack him up, baby.
he looks into your eyes and he says, uninvited, unwanted, unappreciated, but undiscovered.
I'm a little creeped out right now.
Yeah, are we like we're not hearing this? Like we
No,
only
this is
get our own
the
message.
each of you. This is the each of you. Bolin, you also step forward when beckoned, and you stand before the dark-robed figure. The head slowly moves up, and you catch a glimpse of a fairer face with high cheekbones and more gentle facial angles, a priestess of sorts. Her eyes also a swirl of blue with hints of green flashing through them, and oddly she gives you a slight smile as she begins to speak. Of what reason are you worthy to enter through the walls of Theondir?
You're really into this. Yeah.
I'm gonna pull out the ring that old man gave me, and I'm gonna put it in my palm. Show it to
Are
him.
there any potions left?
As
No, you destroyed them all.
you reach into your pocket to pull out the ring, Bolin, you feel that the ring is warm, almost hot to the touch. You bring it out, you set it on your palm, and you can see that it has a slight green glow to it. She looks down at the ring on your hand, places her fingers over your hand, and clasps your hand over the ring, so you're holding it tightly. And she says to you, restless will be your heart until it finds its true rest. And she lowers your hand. In perfect synchronization, the seven figures raise their staffs and begin to chant in unison, Hana Shalafa, Mela Talana, And slowly, each of you begins to feel a warmth that creeps through your body, starting in your head and moving into your torso and out to your limbs. It's a feeling like sinking into a steaming bath where everything becomes calm and where the surrounding world begins to fade away. And as you look down at your hands and your arms, you see something of a green shimmer aura radiating up your
Amy,
body.
go away. I swear, go away. You need to go away.
It's growing and jumping like flames that engulf the Mittendorf evening before. And having completed their chant, the figures again in synchronization slowly step to the side and gesture for you to enter through the stone archways. And as you come closer, the shimmering green energy becomes stronger and stronger, almost blinding with its brilliant beauty. You stretch out your hand and extend it through the arch as if the energy were mist, the warmth beginning to intensify in your fingers and your palms. And with determination, you take a step through the shimmering light of the archway and into the great city of Theondir. And
For fuck's sake, Matt.
Like, we finally made it.
Matt over the night. Congratulations, you guys have made it to Theondir.
Matt, like, that's really good, dude.